Hello, everyone. I am Sacrabalic, your envoy of hope, and I am here with.
I am John, your envoy of despair.
Oh, hello, everyone. I am
Shit.
Sacrabalic, your
Yeah,
envoy of hope, and
switching it up.
Oh shit! You'd actually might be surprised to find out, John, that I went by that title for about a year and a half straight.
Oh, well.
Actually, I was going by Envoy of Despair when I met you.
Oh, that's right. And then you
Yeah.
crossed it out and put hope. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back, except
Bringing
this
it
time
back.
it's not me. This time you're Hajime.
I am.
I want to be clear that the Envoy of Hope title, which I have explained the origin of maybe 3 times ever on stream, when I used to do Let's Plays, I explained it way more than that. But on stream, I've explained the origin of the Envoy of Hope title maybe 3 times ever. Did not originate from Danganronpa, and I had the title well before Danganronpa. But Envoy of Despair was a reference to Danganronpa. So.
Well, don't go dongin doing it on your rampa.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I always say.
Moral of the story, Despair Boys for life. Is that the Despair Boys theme? It's just 2 V's. I don't even know what it represents.
2 victories.
2 victories? Oh shit, for the twin despairs.
It is. Man, I gotta use it. Sure.
You know, speaking about that, won't be in chat a lot because I'm playing Minecraft when I'm still be listening. That's okay, Kaido. It's a podcast anyway. Thanks for popping in. Have fun.
Appreciate you. Enjoy your Minecraft.
But yeah, this has nothing to do with our topics tonight. But guess what, John? We're going on a ride, and you don't have any control. I'm the host this time. The Game Grumps have actually been playing Danganronpa, and I won't talk too much about it.
Yeah,
it's a great playthrough, actually. I am definitely enjoying it. So
I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's definitely a good watch. They're almost done, actually. Like, to everyone's surprise, the Game Grumps almost never finish a game. They're on the last chapter of the game now. So
yeah, they never finish Majora's Mask.
Yeah. Well, I hear Aaron hates Majora's Mask.
He does, and he actually goes on a really good rant about it.
I played Majora's Mask. I reviewed it on this podcast on like episode 1 or 2. I get it. I get the Majora's Mask hate. I don't think I'm as
I love that game.
I think I was more lukewarm on Majora's Mask though. I didn't have the same like zealous anger that he has for it.
There's definitely some anger there.
Yeah. The Pod Lords, welcome, Marcy.
The Pod Lord, what's up, dude?
But yeah, I definitely I enjoyed Majora's Mask, but it had a lot of things that I was not a fan of.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of people either love it or hate it.
Yeah. But that's not one of our topics, now is it? You actually have the topic list, and it's your job to keep track of it, but I might remember it off the top of my head.
I do have it right here.
So I'm just going to start it off, because the first topic's always the same one. John, what have you been up to? We took a month off.
We did. We took a month off, which was kind of weird. But yeah, so as you can see, new digs. So I'm in new stuff. Got new everything. I got a new computer coming. Got the new chair, desk, everything. Yeah, gonna get into it. Since the computer's done next week, so I should be getting it within 2 weeks. Other than that, I've just been working and watching movies and playing some games. How about you?
Well, first off, let's talk about this new computer. What kind of computer? Is it a good one? Is this a computer that can play a game?
It can play a game. It can play multiple games, in fact. I made sure that. Yeah, and it can also run basically everything I need it. which means I'll be getting back into the whole video making stuff again because I kind of took a break because this computer is like annoying to work with. So
you have 2 monitors, right?
I got 2 monitors with the new computer,
You are
so
gonna
I'll have 3.
love that. Trust
I
me. There
know.
is nothing better than having. When I randomly plugged a second monitor into my computer the first time, and I
Yeah.
realized how great 2 monitors are, I just came myself all over, just everywhere. It was all over the walls. I had to mop it up. It was messy as shit.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna make like everything way easier
Mm-hmm.
when that does happen. So
And
only about 2 weeks away. So
you know what? You know what this means? This means you can do real collabs now.
exactly, it'll be a lot easier to do literally everything, which
Yeah.
super bummed about.
You could get
'Cause,
Terraria, and I could finally have someone to play Terraria with.
I already have that game.
You have Terraria for PC?
Yeah,
Why are we not playing Terraria, John?
because you just brought it up now. Even though we've been hanging out for a solid like 8 months now.
John, are you aware that Terraria is, get this, my most played game on Steam?
I can believe that because I believe it's also my brother's too. That's why I have it because it's on this PC.
So here's my history with Terraria. My history with Terraria is I keep conning people into playing Terraria with me, where they start a new save and then I try and drag them to the end game. And I always make some progress, and we always make a decent amount of progress, but then we always just stop playing.
Well, it looks like we just found our co-op collab.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will 100% play that game because I've never played it and it's it looks interesting. So I'm
John,
down for
I
that.
will drag you to the final boss, kicking and screaming.
My favorite. I mean, you've done that already in Dark Souls, so
But the fun part about Terraria is I get to be physically there.
oh, that's true too. Yeah.
And speaking, I wasn't even going to talk about Terraria, but we might as well since we're on the subject.
Yeah, let's get in. Let's get into it.
I hadn't. So I got all the way through Terraria, like 2 years ago, something like that. And then the month after I finished, they put out the final update to it, and I was like, oh, I am not about to. I am not about to fucking download Terraria again and get back into that game that I've just spent all of this time getting to the end of again. And so like this month I, on a whim installed Terraria and I finished the new update. It did not take very long to do for me anymore because Steam has cloud saves, so I had all of my old data, but
I do. I also believe I have some mods for Terraria on this computer as well that I can move over to my new one.
Mods?
Yeah, I got some mods I think on here because my brother played that game like a lot, and this is his computer. So,
oh no, you got to do Terraria Vanilla.
well, we can do vanilla. We'll do that. So it looks like we we just figured out what our next thing was.
Fuck yes, I'm all about. Apparently R6 down. So
yeah.
Y'all want to get together on Terraria? I'll drag both of your asses to the end game. It don't fucking matter.
We can 100% do that. I'm down for that. I still want to do the other game that we were thinking of doing too.
Well, we have like
yeah.
2-3 streams left in DS2, and then we have to do Legend of Zelda 2.
That is true, yeah.
Because I need an actual walkthrough for that game. And
A
Way Out, I think.
Yeah, Way Out. Yeah, that which I already have on my Xbox.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out. I also have to beat all that stuff in DS2 in order to do the next stream.
Yes.
So I mean, we can always do Zelda in the meantime because that's going to take me a little bit.
Yeah. Zelda's going to take me a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That game's it's a Dark Souls Zelda. It really is. It's like really tough.
But yeah, so what's going on with your streams anyway?
So yeah, with the moving into a new room and stuff like that. I had to take a little bit of a break because I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of like streaming stuff on my consoles and all that because my TV is over there now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can't see it, but I can see you're pointing.
yeah, yeah. So it's a little bit different. So how I'm gonna set it up when I get my new computer because I'm getting the two monitors. I'm gonna have this monitor that I already have set up just for playing consoles and streaming and stuff like that. That way I can just move stuff back and forth when I'm just playing on my TV, doing whatever, and having it for streaming and stuff. Just because I can do it from right here. So I'm gonna do a couple streams this week, kind of test the waters and stuff like that. It'll be kind of weird. I did figure out a way to rig my green screen up
Mm-hmm.
so it could neatly be behind me. It was actually with the help of the lady. But yeah, I'm getting back to it as soon as possible. It's just trying to figure it all out. And last week was like getting everything set up. I had to wait for my computer chair to come in. This came in yesterday because I was sitting in like a freaking kitchen chair that was super uncomfortable. So I was like, I can't do that for like 2.5 hours. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get back to it. We got we got the PS5 now, so we play PS4, PS5 games. We're gonna have the new PC, so it's all that stuff. Already bought the VR, so we got the VR. Yeah, stuff,
Okay.
content.
Nice. One thing I want to say after now that you've said that is I just want to assure chat that I am reading it, but unlike normal, I'm not reading it out loud because I kind of don't want to cut you off. I feel like I accidentally cut you off a lot, so I'm trying to. I kind of want to like try and cool down on that, but also I just want chat to
Yeah,
know I am reading it. It's just like
me
I might
too.
not necessarily be responding.
Yeah, same with me. I'm reading it too. I try to respond in chat while doing that,
Hmm.
but I also have soundboard, so I don't know if we can hear it, but I keep every time I hit enter, I hit. So
Okay.
okay, yeah, good call out because yeah,
Okay. So on my side, I've actually been getting back more into a streaming rhythm. Still taking Tuesdays, Wednesdays off, but I've been streaming every other day as opposed to every day like I used to. So I've been doing less streams overall, but I've been streaming for longer hours.
yeah,
Um, so I've been for the past 3 weeks been doing on Thursdays every week a 12-hour stream. And then the other streams are usually ranged between 5 to 7 hours. So less streams, but for a lot of time now.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I plan on consistently doing like um, and it really depends on the week, but like at least 12 to like 15 hours a week.
Hmm.
Just because with my work schedule and personal life stuff, I gotta make sure I got time for all that. Um, but there's so much content now, so we got a whole bunch. Really
So
excited.
what game's on your queue is my question.
Um, that so we still doing Dragon Quest. I want to finish Dragon Quest.
11?
Um, yes.
Okay.
I want to finish that. But we also have I had people vote on some PS4 games that they wanted to see, so we're definitely gonna crack into that. Um, I want to start doing the community night stuff again, so that's probably gonna be on that. I'm gonna start figuring that out with probably tomorrow or Monday. Because Monday will probably be a test stream just to go back and see how it is.
Hmm. Dip your toes in.
Um, yeah, just getting used to the new setup, and then when the new PC gets here, I have to transfer everything over, re-download everything. Hopefully OBS safe settings that'll make my life way easier. Um, but yeah, setting up soundboard and everything. It's gonna be a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay. So this has nothing to do with anything. So before we talk about my games, I just want to say the beard is looking great right now. I don't know what you're doing to it, but it's working.
Oh yeah, that's right. I trimmed my beard. I got rid of the big bushy beard, so that's why it's looking pretty mint right now.
Hmm.
I shaved it what like 2 weeks ago now, something like that. So
Okay.
it's like it's getting
Yeah, no,
full
it
again.
looks great. I was just sitting there and I'm like, something looks different. And I'm like, it's the beard. The beard looks great right now. But anyway, yeah. So let's see. Since the last podcast, I have finished Parasite Eve,
Hell yeah.
And I finished Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I did all bosses, all of them, including the super bosses. So Sephiroth, all 13 data battles, and Lingering Will.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
yeah. And I also did a cutscene watch along for 358 over 2 days and Recoded, which was a fun time. Recoded is a nightmare, and 358 over 2 is great. Hey, Mac Tier, what's up? I just want you to know I am reading chat, but I might not necessarily respond all the time.
Hell yeah. What's up, Mac?
So yeah, another thing I've done. Oh, and right now we're playing Maid's Viewer Request, which I've kind of ironed out the rules for how viewer requests work now. Which is Digital Devil Saga Avatar Tuner, which was released in the West as Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. I hate it, but we're gonna beat it anyway. And yeah, for anyone in the Discord, I made a large post in the Content Talk channel about the queue going forward, because the queue is like done. Like it's mapped out pretty much to the end of favorite search now. And as well as how viewer requests work, and the new command, which is the priority command, which lets you move the queue around a bit. So a lot of general clarification. Not a lot of changes, but general clarification.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. I need to figure out
Um,
my shit now.
streams are going to be more dubious at the end of the queue. That's why it says the end with a question mark. But yeah, the end of favorite search is mapped out. So
My
so I
stream's
think
just chaos. There's no order. It's just all chaos.
I like to think of myself as lawful neutral. So
So yeah, because I'll be like, yeah, we're totally gonna play this game tonight, and then I'll get on stream. By the way, we're actually playing this instead. Because I just like get up to the point where I'm about to stream, like I don't really think I want to play this tonight. Actually,
yeah. I'm like the exact opposite. I'm all like structured and ordered, and I recently restructured everything so it makes more sense.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I think after DDS, we're going on to Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, which will be the final Metal Gear Solid 4 game. So, or the final Metal Gear Solid game, because we're not going on to Phantom Pain.
Fair enough.
Because that game sucks.
Well,
I think that's the end for the recap, right?
that is about it. You know, not too much going on really. I'm just trying to get shit reset up and go from there.
Okay. So you're in charge of the topics because I can't see them while I have window capture on.
We have next going up. Why I don't stream every game I play.
Oh, okay. Yes, this one is mine. I get asked this all the time, which is whenever you actually, I get asked this by other streamers all the time. I never get asked this by viewers. Well, I guess streamers that are viewers, but you know what I'm saying. Viewers that are streamers. I get asked this all the time, where people are like, "Oh, I stream every time I play video games," and I don't. And I've been very clear that I don't. And there's a few reasons for this. Reason number one is, for me, very much so, I kind of base my like my streaming was originally based off of a YouTube model, which in extension is loosely based off of like a TV model. So for me, I view my streams as like a production, sort of, you know, with beginning, middles, and ends. So if I were to start streaming every game I play right now, for example, I would have to start in the middle of a video game, which is just not how it works for me. Like I couldn't start putting out a show in the middle of the show. It wouldn't make a cohesive product. Another thing is that when I do play video games, it's usually in my free time outside of streams. It's usually as part of multitasking. So I'll be like, I'll be doing some work, or I'll I'll be like watching anime or something while playing a video game. So either I would have to not be doing that while streaming, or my streams would just be me silently staring at a screen for like several uninterrupted hours, and that is just not interesting. Why is your camera pan down?
I know, I'm trying to fix it.
Okay. Which is just not interesting viewing of me just not responding to chat and just staring blankly at a screen while I just do bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Finally, it would kill me. Because again, going back to like streams are sort of like a production. When I play games by myself, I'm usually not like cracking wise and talking about animal genitals and like making lewd comments. I'm usually just sitting there in silence, and maybe I'll chuckle every now and again. And it kind of takes a lot out of me to like talk and to chat and play games and, you know, try and do my best to create an entertaining product. I don't always succeed, but I do my best at it. And it can actually take a heavy toll on me physically. Like after the Kingdom Hearts 2 finale, that night, like a bunch of blood came out of my throat. So like there's actually a moment in the stream where like something pops in my throat, and it was a mess cleaning that up. So yeah. I can't. So it's partially that I don't want to, and it's partially I can't.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's a lot of games that I play that I don't stream, just because like I want a separate thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's also games that I know people aren't gonna want to watch either. So that's a part of the reason why I do that as well. Just because, like, for instance, when Paper Mario Origami King came out last July, like everyone and their mom was streaming it. I'm just by myself, you know. I typically don't like playing games when they first come out, just because of the oversaturation and like everyone's seen it. So it's like sometimes I like to wait a little while for like the hype to die down around it and stuff like that. So I'll just play it by myself, just because I want that experience. Like I streamed Avengers like maybe once.
Mm-hmm.
When that came out, so
I think the only games I've ever streamed at launch were Dark Souls 3 and Resident Evil 3. So games with threes. You want me to play a game at launch? Put a 3 in the title.
Well,
Chrono Trigger 3 right now. Let's do it.
Oh god, if only. I would love a sequel to Chrono Cross. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I like searched my brain attempting to get a game that stopped that too. Yeah, I do know that RE2 and RE3 may happen one day. Welcome, Pache.
What's up, Pacha? Chrono Supercross.
That game. There was hints at a Chrono Cross sequel at one point, but then they just never did anything with it.
Yeah, it's sad. It really is sad. Yeah.
Any Valve game. You know what? that also would have been good.
I can't count 3.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why I don't stream every game I play. So that's
Makes
mostly
sense.
a question I get asked by streamers. So
I've actually never been asked that.
Oh, really?
Oh. No one's ever asked me that. Yeah, I mean, I talk about it like in my streams. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm playing this game, but I'm not gonna play it on stream.
It mostly comes up in their streams. Where I'm talking in chat, and I'm like, well, lately I've been playing this, and they're like, oh, I never saw you stream that, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
of course you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm playing a couple PS4 games that I got recently, and I'll just off stream just because. Yeah.
When's the 358 days playthrough? If it's ever, it's like a million miles away.
I'm thinking Resident.
One thing that grinds my gears is when streamers play the game they started on stream, off stream. Yes! See? Yeah. That's another See, that's what I was talking about, like, as point one, where it's like, you know, for me, streaming's like a product, so beginning, middle, and end. Like, same thing, I wouldn't start a game in the middle, I wouldn't end a game off stream either. I have to be careful about that when I like fuck around in Dark Souls, by the way, where it was mostly a problem with Bloodborne, where I would like dip my toes in to sort of get boss patterns and then kill myself intentionally, and because I have a rougher time with Bloodborne than any Soulsborne game. And I would get like close to like actually killing a boss, and then I would just be like, okay, stop moving now.
Yeah.
Just eat an attack to the face so I don't win.
I do the same thing, but I also do like if I have to do like in Dragon Quest, like I'm doing all my grinding off stream just to make the game a lot easier when I do stream. So because I'm just gonna be overpowered or whatever, and because nobody wants to watch me grind for like 3 hours.
So yeah, I mean, I normally do grinding off a screen, but now that I've been doing 12-hour streams every week, I believe this came up in Digital Devil Saga with my last stream, where I was, because I hadn't been grinding the entire game, and you're supposed to grind in Mega 10 games. So I was just like, damn it, I'm like 10 levels under, and these fights are just taking forever. So I'm like, oh, what am I going to do about this? And I just turned to chat, and I'm like, fuck it. We're going to grind on stream for the next 3 goddamn hours, and you're going to watch me do it. I also did that for like the Kingdom Hearts finale, but well, not the finale, the stream right before the finale. I just grinded right on stream. So when you have to vamp for 12 hours of stream, fuck it, just grind on screen for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. My streams are generally like 2-3 hours, depending on the night.
Oh, so a reasonable amount of time, and not crazy people time.
I'll eventually do another 12-hour stream.
Yeah,
someday. I don't know when, but eventually. But yeah, I feel that. That's like the only thing I do. Like sometimes I do that with other games, like you were saying with like the bosses. Like I'll go and like check them out just so like I don't look like shit on stream.
Well, the only times I do that is on fights that it's very rare. It's on fights that I started on the stream and then just didn't finish on the stream.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Yeah,
which almost never happens. For
yeah, like see, for me, it was like when we started Dark Souls, like I made a side character where I would go do the same shit that we did before. Like during the stream, just so I could like get used to playing Dark Souls and like get better at it. So like the streams would progressively be less of me dying to giant rats and more of me dying because I just made like a small mistake during the boss or something.
In the case of like the Soulsborns, I did it for Dark Eater Midir in DS3, and in Bloodborne, I did it for Lady Maria because I was like 20 levels under par for that.
Yeah, Lady Maria here is crazy. So
yeah, she's actually so fast you can't parry her properly unless you like are just like familiar. Like you have to parry her before she starts her attack. But if she starts her attack and then you hit the parry button like you would for most bosses, she will just straight up outspeed your gun pull.
That's crazy.
So you have to be like really familiar with her to parry her.
And she has a weapon that I need for my skill build.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to use
the DLC for Bloodborne. I guess I don't know why it like the weapons are so fucking strong compared to all of the other weapons in the game.
Yeah, that's what that because right now I'm using the threaded cane, which I actually like a lot. I actually like the whip in that game.
But yeah, for like the early Persona games, I used to grind so much off stream, it was crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. No spoilers.
Oh no, I was just saying I grinded a lot for him. I wasn't gonna say anything.
I know. Yeah, I kind of forgot. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Games. So we move in to the next one.
The
next one is also you. It's a HuniePop 2 Double Day trailer.
Yes. Okay. This one won't take long. It just dropped today. The release trailer dropped today, February 6th. HuniePop 2 Double Date. It is coming out. It will be released February 8th. I will be getting it. I'm excited. You should get it too. Look for it wherever porn games are sold. I will be doing a review next podcast, probably. That's it. That's the whole pitch. Get it, damn it.
Wait, it's coming out in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, they dropped the
They
trailer
did-
today, and it's coming out in 2 days.
Where does one get such a game?
I'm getting it on Steam, because that's where I have HuniePop
Oh.
1 and Honeycam Studios.
Oh, I have no idea what this is, but when you mentioned that to me, I thought you were calling me HuniePop, and I was just like, "All right, dude." And then you put it in the actual list of stuff. I'm like, "Oh, it's a thing."
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Calling someone HuniePop, not a bad compliment.
No, that's what I was like. You know what? This is I can live with this.
Yes. Do not stream. I will also not be streaming that game because it will probably be banned on Twitch because Honeycam Studio and HuniePop are banned on Twitch. Specifically by name.
Probably because of the porn aspect of it.
There's not even porn in Honeycam Studio. I don't even understand that one.
Oh, that's weird. Y'all getting Biomutant?
I am not getting Biomutant. No.
I don't know what that is, but maybe.
So yeah, that was my whole HuniePop pitch. Comes out in
HuniePop.
2 days.
Go check it out. Apparently, it's Candy Crush Pussy Edition.
He wrote porn edition, but sure.
I can't see it. It won't let me.
There are some fish tacos in it. You're correct.
And by fish tacos, are we talking about pussy?
I mean vagina. Yes, correct.
Okay. Fair. That's it. That's all you got.
Oh yeah, that was it. Well, I mean the
All
game's
right.
not out. What do you want me to say? I can't review it.
That's true. All right, so I guess we'll move right along.
It's not even available for pre-order. Oh, I am being a stupid dummy dum-dum. I'm sorry. Hold up. Y'all were letting me be a stupid dummy dum-dum.
I think it was a normal dating game. Well, we all make the mistake.
There we go. HuniePop 2 Double Date. It comes out in 2 days, February 8th. Get it wherever porn games are sold. I forgot to put up the image. I have an image now.
Oh, okay. I can't see it just yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Anyway, that was it.
HuniePop. Oh, dude, that is a picture, all right.
Oh yeah, that's Q. She is a fairy sent by the goddess of love to help you get laid. She was in the first game.
Fair enough. All right. Moving on to the next topic, which is Shadow of the Colossus. I've been playing that game on PS4. Now I played it on PS2 prior, so I had played this game and beaten it before. But I will say this remake looks fucking just great. The controls still suck, but the game looks great on the PS4. I'm like 6 Colossus in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting through it. I'm like trying not to rush any of these games because I'm just taking my time. I'm playing like a few games at one time right now. That's really all I gotta say about Shadow of Colossus. Any input on that? You ever play it?
Yeah, I got 3 Colossus in. Young Sack did on the PS2 era, and I fucking hated it.
Fair enough. It's a weird game.
I thought it was goddamn terrible. Controlled like ass. There was
It
just
does
large,
control like ass.
big, boring environments. The fucking voice of God doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's like Banjo-Kazooie.
People often say that like the thing about Shadow Colossus is the spectacle. There's just not enough to latch onto for me. It always feels so shallow.
Yeah, it is. It's a very boring world, but like the thing I like about it is it's no bullshit. It's like go kill these things. Like just go straight to them and kill them. I really like that because like half the time I'm like, yeah, I just wanna beat some bosses. Like if Dark Souls, like if there was a mod for Dark Souls where you could just take out all the random bullshit and just do bosses, which there is. There's boss rush mode for at least 3 I know of.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit. I love a good boss rush mode. That's why I love Mega Man so much, like all of them, because they all have a boss rush mode at the end of the game, except for the first one. I think there's one of them. One of them doesn't have it. I think it's the first one, but it's just a tradition. You just go through all the bosses because that's why you play the games. Nobody plays the games for the story. This is for the bosses. We all know that. That's why we love Dark Souls shit so much.
I play games for the stories, but
yeah, nah.
Which is why I hate Dark Souls. Except for Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2 is pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, Dark Souls 2 has the best story, but they completely wasted it. So,
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like good. I like any game. There's games that have great stories. I love Kingdom Hearts, even though the story's very convoluted and
someone
confusing.
consider it complete goddamn nonsense that's constantly contradicting itself.
It is. It's
I am that someone.
But I do love it. Yeah, this is called like God of War, like the original series. Well, all of them have like a pretty interesting story.
I was about to say, hang on, God of War's story's totally okay.
Yeah, but I love Greek shit, so
Mhm.
that's why I love Greek mythology. Anything Greek mythology, I instantly love it.
Yeah, I used to be really into Greek mythology when I was younger, but I kind of grew out of it.
Yeah, like mythology in general has always been like anything with that, like it's always like I love it.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I studied a lot of Greek mythology why are we talking about God of War when we have a literal God of War topic somewhere on this list?
Yeah, well, it was damn it.
Well,
because we were talking about story and it just came up.
Okay. Well, that one's a specific God of War, so we'll keep shooting the shit on that. But anyway, yeah. So I used to be really into like Greek mythology as a kid, and it used to be like my favorite mythology. But I kind of like grew away from it as I've studied more about it, and I kind of moved on to Shintoism and the Abrahamic religions. So.
Hell yeah.
So. Not that there's anything wrong with Greek mythology. It's just like, I don't know. It might be oversaturation for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Or
like there's one good project that comes out like every 10 years. Like there's like the Netflix Blood is Zeus anime that just came out, and like that was actually like
I don't think
good.
that's an anime. I think it's a Western show. But
it is, but I like it.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I think it's a Western show technically. But
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it.
Well, it's not on Mal. And Mal has gotten really loose at what it calls anime, so
Is Digimon on there?
Yeah, of course it is.
Hell yeah.
But Digimon would have been on there no matter what. Digimon is an anime.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah. So I think we can move on from Shadow of the Colossus. That's my major input. Oh, right. One thing. I do kind of like the boss designs though, like the physical appearance of them in Shadow of the Colossus. I think that's interesting. That's the one like plus side I'll give to them. I think the idea of like giant fuck you monsters is kind of cool.
Yeah, they are definitely some fuck you monsters, yeah.
No, BoJack Horseman is not on Malarsic. Don't be silly.
All right. So then the next topic is also something I put in there. It's Spider-Man, the remastered edition. I want to talk about this A because I'm playing it right now, and also B because why did they change his face? It's so weird. It makes everything like if you played the game, then go to the remaster and like see a different person as Peter Parker. You're just why'd you do that?
Why did they do that? Is so it would fit better in with the Miles Morales game, or
I don't know. I read about it, but I don't remember what they said. I think it was more like we just think that this face fit the voice better, and sure, it does.
Didn't have the guy that did the mocap do the voice. That's really fucking weird.
Yeah, it's Yuri Lowenthal does voice. He also does like Sasuke and a couple other people in the anime world. Which is weird because like when I first played the game, I'm like, why do I know that voice? Yeah, it was fucking Sasuke.
Yeah, he's in like everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Blew my mind. Frame made me go. Yeah. Frame is pretty crazy.
I played a little of Spider-Man, so a Marvel Spider-Man, but it, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, sounded like it was melting my fucking PlayStation. because I don't know if you know this, the PS4 is really, really, really bad at venting heat.
So I've heard.
Yeah, so it's something that fucking PlayStation is basically famous for, or at least I like to think they're famous for, is making a fucking console with the worst non-existent vents possible. So I don't know how your PS5 looks, but I assure you that neither the PS3 nor the PS4 have any fucking vents.
So like the PS5 like goes into rest mode like pretty quickly, and like I check it every morning, and it like doesn't get super hot. I haven't played a PS5 game on it yet, which is weird to say that I own a PS5 but yet to play a PS5 game. Because I've been playing more of the PS4 games, but like I mean technically Remaster is a PS5 game, so I mean it runs that and it doesn't get hot.
That's okay.
I
My
mean,
Wii U is 90% running for Wii games.
Fair. Yeah, I mean it's not super loud either, which I kind of like. Yeah, the only thing I hate about it is that it's fucking huge.
I
Like,
have
it is
heard
a
that.
huge fucking console. Like I if it wasn't plugged in, I'd go grab it, and it's like the size of my fucking torso. It's crazy big. Like
Wow.
when I took it out of the box, I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Yeah.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big console, but I mean, it does what it needs to do. It plays my PS4.
What I got a PS4 at the same time as an Xbox One.
Yeah.
This was years ago. I always liked the Xbox One better, but the PS4 just had a better games library, so I usually get more time with my PS4. Although the Xbox One is backward compatible. It wasn't when I got it, but it is now, which I feel like completely justifies my purchase. But it was always hilarious that the PS4 has no fucking vents on it. It does. Let's be clear. It actually does, but like almost no vents. They're very tiny and shitty, and they don't work very well. Whereas the Xbox One is a goddamn vent.
It really is, though, yeah.
It's
like,
almost more vent than console, and I love it, and it runs so well.
Yeah, like I have the One X, and like that thing's never overheated like one, and I got it at launch.
Well, it's because I like to think it's because Microsoft makes computers, so they know the importance of not having your shit catch on fire.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to uninstall Spider-Man because I was afraid it was going to melt my fucking system.
That's fair. It's a really fun game if you like the. It's kind of like it's basically Arkham Spider-Man, like the Batman games, but with Spider-Man. But I think it's way more interesting. Like the fighting of the game like is more varied than in a Batman game. So, it's really fun, and obviously like the traversal and everything is like a lot of fun. Like the random shit in the city that goes on. It's like it's a cool game. It's a game that like I only play for like maybe a day, just because like after a while like you're just doing shit, and like I also again don't want to rush through it because I'm gonna play that, and then we'll probably play Miles Morales like on stream or something like that, just because it's new to me. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I made it a little bit through the Spider-Man game. I hated Arkham Asylum, but
Me too, yeah.
as a game. But yeah, the Spider-Man game, I wouldn't describe it anything like Arkham Asylum. I would describe it like every Spider-Man game ever made, pretty much. It's a Spider-Man game. I hear the stories where it's at, but I didn't make it far enough in that to actually judge it.
Oh, the story in it's really fucking good, actually.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Spider-Man stories.
But
outside of like the movies and
and the comics, obviously, yeah. Spider-Man Reign being the greatest Spider-Man comic of all time.
I still have to watch or read that.
Oh, well, minor spoiler: Mary Jane dies because of Peter Parker's radioactive semen. So,
I like that.
Yeah, that's hot.
That's really sexy.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on, I think.
Yeah. Next one is Cyberpunk 2077.
Shit, I forgot. Okay. I had way more to say about this when we originally did the podcast, and now I've probably mostly forgotten it. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of two games I played during our last podcast. in which the director of the game issued a formal apology for making the game. So obviously it was created by the same people that did Witcher 3. And just get it right out there right now. Everyone knows the big controversy of Cyberpunk not fucking running and being a broken mess. A lot of the complaints about Cyberpunk being a mess and being broken were for console players, and I, of course, played this on, let's be honest here, a pretty fucking beefy PC that's better than most people's PCs. So I'm not going to say I had no bugs. That would be crazy and a lie. But I definitely had a lot less problems than I think most people probably had. The major issues I ran into were I had one area where I had a save that would just crash to desktop every time I saved or loaded there. And that was about as worse as it got. I had a quest line just fucking break because it would direct me to take someone to the roof, and then the enemies that I have to kill on the roof in order to check off the quest log just never spawned. So I ended up fucking tossing the woman off the goddamn roof and completing the quest. And the T-posing. Sure, everyone knows the T-posing memes. Let me assure you. Yes, even on my fucking UFO, there was some T-posing. But overall, I actually had very few bugs in the game. The game actually ran pretty damn well for me, all things considered, and I damn near 100%ed this game. So, I have seen footage of a quest line that I did not do. This quest line did not trigger for me. And I think it's part of the problem with the game is that the game has an internal clock system that is both unnecessary and I think is a holdover from previous mechanics that just didn't make it in the final cut of the game, and also fucking terrible. Because certain quest lines only unlock after certain amounts of time, and I suspect that the reason I never did this quest and it never unlocked with me is because I didn't wait the requisite number of days for this quest to unlock, when, let's be honest, this quest should have just popped up the second I finished the last quest. You should never have to wait days and days and days for a fucking quest line to pop up. It is awful, and I hate it, and that's probably one of my biggest issues with the game. Here's the number one problem with the game. Well, not the number one problem, but here is a problem with the game. Everything you have heard about this game that was promised during the trailers and that people were talking about and getting hype about is a complete goddamn lie. Every single fucking thing about this game that they told us was a complete fucking lie. Case in point, one of the things they said is that Cyberpunk is going to have one of the most robust and detailed character creators in any video game ever. And I, of course, got very excited about this because I've bought games just for character creators, like Soul Calibur and shit. I love me a good character creator. And I've played games like Soul Calibur 4 and 5. They both have their pros and cons, and Code Vein. And yes, I have in fact played Artificial Academy 2. So, I know a good character creator when I see one. So when they're like, this is going to be the best character creator ever, I'm like, okay, I doubt that, but I'm looking forward to a good character creator. Cyberpunk 2077 has one of the worst character creators I've ever fucking seen. It has no goddamn sliders. It just has toggleable options. And it's not even like a lot of options. It's sometimes a maximum of 30 options. And there's supposed to be and here's the fun part. It's people are like, you can customize your genitals. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm on board for this. So here's the thing about Cyberpunk's genital customizing option, all right? You have only a handful of options. You have circumcised and uncircumcised, small, medium, and large for penises, no genitals, and then one vagina. That is the end of your genitals. That's not enough genitals. I demand more genitals.
We need more genitals.
I need more genitals. You're talking about genital, like, forget Artificial Academy 2. That's not even as, like, fucking Conan Exiles came out like 4 years earlier and had a fucking slider for your genitals. And all, like, that alone makes it a more customizable genital system than Cyberpunk. And I heard that they were gonna be like, you can get like cyberware for your genitals, and I'm like, I don't know why this is in the game, but I got really excited because I wanted to know why. Like, the curiosity brought me in. Let me assure you, John, there are no cyberware for your genitals, and I cannot possibly describe how upset I am about this.
It must be the cyberware update that's coming in 2024.
Oh, well, they better fucking bring me the jackhammer, is all I'm saying. Me and my friend group, No Life to Conan Exiles, and then you see fucking better genital slider. Oh yeah, there's the option of having underwear or no underwear. I'm an adult. I chose no underwear. Doesn't fucking matter, though, because if you look down at your character model, you're always wearing underwear. We're expecting testicles the size of beach balls. You can't even adjust your testicle size, Mac tier. You can't even change it. Doesn't matter. You just get that one size. Yeah, another thing, they let you choose the size of your breasts. Doesn't matter what size your breasts are. If you are wearing clothes, it defaults to medium breasts. Doesn't matter if they're small. Doesn't matter if they're large. Medium-sized breasts for you. Fuck you. I played a woman. One thing I liked is that you could customize your parts and your appearance, and it wasn't based on like gender. And they did this to like placate like social justice warriors and stuff. But I actually thought it turned out great that you could just like you could make your character with a complete disregard to your gender. And I actually think more games should do that. I thought that was great. Like, it didn't fucking matter. I think the only other game I've seen do that is Akiba Strip. So that's cool. You do have to choose male or female voice, and that changes how people treat your character or whatever, but that doesn't really matter. Here's the big issue about that, though. Originally, you were supposed to be able to toggle between third and first person, and then they ran out of time and money, so they're like, hey, you can only be first person now. So mirrors aren't always active in the game. You have to actively turn them on. So the thing is, I saw my character so little, and my character kind of looked like a punked out Jolene Cujo from JoJo Part 6. I saw my character so little that I sometimes forgot what I looked like, and I would just picture my character as the logo V from the game promotional art, like the one that's on screen right now. I would forget what I looked like and would just picture that. And then I would see myself and be like, oh, that's what I fucking look like. That's right. And when you like change your cyberware arms, like I had like tattoos and like long nails and shit, and when you change your cyberware arms, they just replace you with fucking robot arms. So I don't even remember what my arms look like after a while, because it just changed me to fucking robot arms. So even if it had a good character creator, it doesn't fucking matter that it has a good character creator. And another thing about it, it's like people treat you differently based on how you dress, and you gotta dress stylish. I played Corpo because I thought that sounded the funnest. So here's the thing about that. I dressed as Corpo for a good portion of the game. It does not matter how you dress at all, first off. That has no bearing on reputation in the slightest. It affects almost nothing. You don't see what you're wearing 99% of the time. So usually you have, like, sometimes you'll dress for fashion. Most of the time you'll just put on whatever bullshit you find that's like the best armored shit you can find, or the ones with the best mods on it. So you look like a complete fucking idiot for 90% of the game. Not that it matters, because you can't fucking see yourself. The traffic AI is not an AI, as been pointed out. The traffic is very clearly scripted. I cannot tell you the number of times I have been hit by a fucking car in that game. The driving controls like shit 99% of the time. The gunplay is actually pretty good. I will say that. I went in the game like thinking I'm going to be sort of like a gunslinger type character. like a cowboy. I was kind of being like, I'm gonna be Revolver Ocelot. What I ended up being was fucking Neo. By the end of the game, because at some point I decided that all of my points were going to go into hacking, because hacking was just more fun and easier for me, and I realized how good hacking was when I had to infiltrate a base, and I stared up at a security camera, and I killed everyone in the base by looking at a security camera. Like, I just, like, it got insane. At the end of the game, I would, like, stare at a person, and I would just, like, make them shoot themselves in the fucking head. And I'm like, I am a god. And, like, as I, like, equipped my cyberware and updated my OS, I had the ability to just basically spam suicide and shit. So I could cause people's heads to just violently explode and, like, to shoot themselves and, like, electrocute all of their friends. And it would spread through the network that the people were connected to. So if I make one person shoot themselves, like, the guy next to him also shoots himself. It just gets fucking nuts. And the game is not prepared for hacking, because the game will give you stealth missions. And it'll be like, you have to infiltrate this place without sounding an alarm. Let me be very clear about what that means. That means you have to get into the building without sounding an alarm. That does not mean you have to get into the building without any evidence of you being there. You see where this is going? I hacked everyone's brains and made them kill themselves, and then I stroll into the building without any effort because there's no one to sound an alarm. They're all fucking dead. And the game had no response to that. The side quests are... Here's the disappointing part. CD Projekt Red created The Witcher 3. And the other Witcher games, but we're going to focus on Witcher 3 because that's the one most people have played. The Witcher 3 has absolutely abysmal open world quests, but its DLC, which was the last DLC it made, Blood and Wine, is like the gold standard for what side objectives should be in a fucking open world game. Like, Blood and Wine is so good as far as its side objectives. Actually, Blood and Wine is just so good. Like, end period. Blood and Wine is an amazing piece of DLC. Possibly the best DLC I've ever played in my life. So going into Cyberpunk, I'm like, oh man, I hope they like bring back some of the tricks they used for Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. They did not do that. They did not bring back those tricks. Instead, they just used the same fill-in objectives. Go here, kill these enemies. That's 90% of all bonus objectives, by the way, in that game, is go here, kill these enemies. Go here, kill these enemies. Go here, kill these enemies. Blah, 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 blah. There were some side gigs. Sometimes they're interesting. Most of the time, it's go here, kill these enemies. Sometimes it's go here, get this person out, which for me, because of my playstyle, was go in and kill these enemies and then walk a person out 5 feet through a room full of just dead bodies. Who I have made shoot themselves. There were some genuinely interesting quest lines. Like, I remember one time where I had to find someone who, like, stopped talking to people. And we go in there and we find out that she was, like, killed by her sister who went crazy. Like, it's not all bad. It is good. And what I will say is that the main quest line is actually really well done. And has and handles its dramatic tension really well, and it creates these genuinely touching moments. Like when Jackie is fucking dying in my arms, like my longtime friend, I'm like, oh shit, Jackie, oh man. And then you have to go to his funeral later. It is genuinely great. It is also incredibly short and super fucking disappointing. It lasts maybe 10 hours in total once you actually get onto the main quest line, and it's like, it's a big fucking nothing burger. And like this brings me to one of my biggest problems with Cyberpunk, which is that okay, actually, there's a few other options. One of the things, it's supposed to be all of your choices matter and add up to something. None of your choices fucking matter. Not a goddamn one of them. As someone who plays a lot of video games where your choices matter, I've gotten really good at telling where the seams are and how they're implementing the system. And I'm very good at telling that Cyberpunk does not implement the system in any... Like, it doesn't use any of the tricks that most games use. It's just like, here's some choices, and then they don't fucking add up to anything. It's just nothing. It's very bad in that regard. But one of the only times your choices do matter is in the most irritating fucking way possible. Where at the end of the game, you have to decide how you're going to, like, save your own life with Johnny. And there is an ending, which is about the only ending that would have made sense for my character, where you basically attack Arasaka headquarters by your fucking self, going in like a goddamn lunatic. And that's the only ending that would have made sense for my character. And I found out that the reason I wasn't able to do that ending is because you have to have a good relationship with Johnny. And part of my issues with this are, you should not need a good relationship with Johnny to go on a fucking suicide mission. That makes no goddamn sense. So many games have a similar, like, this is fucking crazy if you're trying to do this option, that, and it's never tied to an affection meter, which, to be clear, the game does not tell you this affection meter exists. Like, it doesn't even tell you that this affection meter exists, but it ties an ending to this affection meter, which is fucking terrible. And I thought the game's storyline would be longer, and I kind of wanted to build in a character arc with Johnny. Johnny is, of course, Keanu Reeves' character in the game, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of build in a character arc with Johnny where we start off as, like, enemies. I mean, he starts off trying to kill you, so obviously I wanted to build in this whole arc. So I was an asshole for most of it, and then the game just ended out of nowhere. Like, with almost no lead up. It's just like, bam, the game's over. And I'm like, that's it? That's fucking nothing. So, you know, when I found out it was tied to affection system, I was like, oh, well, I have been a complete asshole to Johnny the entire time, so we hate each other, so there's absolutely no goddamn way that I'll have enough affection to get this ending. So guess what, John? You remember when I said that none of your fucking choices matter? Turns out, doesn't matter that I was an asshole the entire time with Johnny, because I only made one choice that decided whether I got this ending or not. Get this. Do you know the choice I made that prevented me from getting the ending? When you go to find Johnny's body, you have a conversation with him. And it was the one time in the entire game I was nice to Johnny. And that was the exact wrong time to be nice to Johnny, because that is the exact thing that barred me from the ending. So I had to replay 11 hours of the fucking game. Luckily, I did that quest almost last. I had to play 11 fucking hours of the game over again, because no other ending felt right. Just to be an asshole one final time to Johnny, on his literal fucking grave, just to get the ending. It is so poorly implemented. Like, if every choice I had made added up to that, I'd still be fucking upset, because a suicide mission shouldn't be barred to an affection meter that the game doesn't tell you. But if every decision had added up to that, it at least would have been better than what I had actually gotten. One other thing I will say is that the game has a scene where you go into what is almost a whorehouse. And I won't go into too much details. You don't have sex with the whore. Let's be very clear. It is a scene where they basically, like, plug into your brain, and they decide what, like, the person basically says what you need to hear. And, you know, sometimes you have sex with them, sometimes you don't, as it's explained. But basically what your character needs to hear, and what they're called dolls, the doll actually says to you, was so fucking perfect and so well done that it's like, the moment is so well crafted. Like, the moments of the main story that are in there are incredibly well done. The game had the potential to be a masterpiece, but it just did not stick the landing. So if I can get anything across about Cyberpunk, it's that Cyberpunk is, if it's working and you're playing on PC and a PC can fucking handle the game like mine could, Cyberpunk is a good game as long as it's working right, and it is totally fine. And, you know, it's kind of like par for the course, and it could have been a great game, but it is, as is, you know, if it's running properly, a good game. It's serviceable. It's just, don't listen to any of the promotional material, because literally all of it was a fucking lie. Literally all of it. Not a single goddamn thing of it was true. The only thing that was true is that Keanu Reeves is in fact in the game, and that was it.
Because no. I'm that's maybe a game I grab when it's like $30 or something like that, like on a Steam sale,
Wait a
just to
year.
play it. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Hmm. For all the patches to come in. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't seem like it's a $60 game to me, and
Hmm.
yeah,
There's definitely $60 worth of content in it. It's just like it's not worth it.
there.
It's not worth it at launch. In like a year, like with the No Man's Sky treatment, um, like Arsic mentioned,
Yeah.
you'll have a great game in there. There is a great game in there. It is not a masterpiece that will blow everyone's hair back. Like it's never going to be the perfect video game. It's never going to live up to the hype that it promised. But you will have a great game in like a year from now.
I'm excited to see what it is because like No Man's Sky, like we keep mentioning that. Like I played that game way after launch, and I played that like religiously for like 4 months straight with my buddy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's a
No
great
Man's
game.
Sky, I believe, is the gold standard for fixing a game after launch.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, that game is fantastic now. When it
Yeah,
launched, my buddy was playing it on his PS4, and I was like, this sucks.
I've never played it. I know the stories.
It's a solid game if you play with a couple people. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of boring on your own, but if you're playing with a couple friends, it's pretty good. I'm getting it in VR when the computer comes in. I want to play that game in VR.
Yeah, I've never played it, and I probably never will. But I respect the hell out of the devs for actually like finishing it. You know, for actually like going in and being like, "We're sorry, we will fix this thing," and then they
Yeah,
did it.
and they did. They
Yeah.
did. Yeah, they fixed it.
So.
It was real. It was a real humbling story about how they made all these promises, and yeah, I mean, this could be the same thing we're seeing with Cyberpunk too. So
Mhm.
we'll see in the year.
But okay, I think we're ready to move on. I feel like I just talked for like 30 goddamn minutes and you didn't say anything. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, you were doing your thing, man. I was letting you do your thing.
All right. Did you have any questions before we moved on?
Nah, like I said, I'll probably grab it like probably like a year when patches come out and like people like do like re-reviews and stuff like that, and I'll check it out. I'll probably check it out then, especially when there's the inevitable price drop in this game coming. So I'll
Yeah.
probably pick it up when it does that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, there was also a save corruption glitch that hit some people, but for the life of me, I don't know how they fucking triggered it. It's supposed to be like get your file size to like 10 megs, which is, you know, nothing with mods or anything, but like on vanilla, I didn't like I got slightly under like slightly over half of that. And I
Hmm.
maxed out my crafting tree and I did literally every quest in the game, so I don't know how anyone managed to hit the file corruption size, but I guess like it was a big enough problem that people noticed it, so someone figured it out.
Hmm. Yeah. Well,
I
fuck
think
'em.
I think that's fixed now, by the way. But
Yeah.
all right.
I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it, but
Mhm.
not anytime soon.
All right, moving on. Ah, boy.
Uh, yeah, boy. Data Boy. God of War. I've been playing that. I'm actually pretty far. I'm over halfway done with that game now. The combat is boring. It's really okay. So it was boring until halfway through. Spoilers if anyone hasn't played this almost 4-year-old game, but right, 3-year-old game, but you get the Chaos Blades halfway through the game, and that just makes everything a little bit better. But then you immediately get bored of that, like real quick. I was like, okay, this is cool because it makes it more fast paced, hacky slashy. You know, like it starts off like it's like almost like a Dark Souls-y type sim. It's like, well, you got all this, get this axe, man. Do stuff with your axe, and you can punch people.
Can
I'm
I
like,
say
okay, this
something
is
about
cool.
the Blades of Chaos real quick?
Oh,
People always say
absolutely.
that Kratos' weapons are the Blades of Chaos, and I might be wrong about this because it's been a long time since I played God of War. I'm pretty sure Kratos loses the Blades of Chaos in the first game, and from that point on uses the Blades of Athena, and literally everyone has forgotten about this.
That is true. That does happen at the end of 1 because he loses. He has to use a sword to
Yeah.
kill Ares or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Um.
hits a fucking bridge. It's the worst fight in the game because it controls like poop.
Yeah. That. Yeah. That is definitely. But they're still called the Blades of Chaos for whatever reason. They like never changed the name.
Well, I think they were called the Blades of Athena in 2, but then I think in 3 they changed it black to Blades of Chaos, and then I think every subsequent God of War game ever, even the ones that take place after 1, have just ignored that they changed the weapons.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth noting that despite being called Blades of Athena in God of War 2, which I'm not 100% convinced they are, but I thought they were, that the Blades of Athena are a different color in the end of God of War 1 than they are in God of War 2. The God of War 2 Blades of Athena look more like the Blades of Chaos, but with a little bit of a gold flourish, whereas in God of War 1, when you have the Blades of Athena at the end of the game, you can only use it for like 3 feet. They are just like sheer gold with like blue glowing, like big dick energy.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, because like in God of War, um Athena shows up when you go to get the Blades of Chaos, and he's like talking to her and shit. I don't remember the actual conversation, like, but so
Because
I'm
she's a super god now.
yeah, she's just like a blue ghosty bitch.
She became a super god at the end of God of War 2 or God of War 3.
Yeah, now yeah, she's just there.
Weirdest
But yeah, I
plot point
mean,
ever.
the combat's kind of boring and it gets stale a lot. So much competition in this game, like holy shit. The one thing I can say is that the story is really good. I actually really like the story, so that's the only thing that's really keeping me playing this game, even though I know how it ends, kind of, because I spoiled the game right when it came out, unfortunately. But I'm just playing it. It's a lot of fun, but boy, if that comment, the puzzles are super easy too, and like I'm playing on the hardest setting that you can do starting off. So I mean, the game's I haven't died once yet, so.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, it's just easy. I mean, I guess after you play shit like Dark Souls and then go into a game like this, you're just like, ah, whatever. I can parry people. This game's wicked easy. And then you can go back to Dark Souls and get thrash. You know.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say hi, R6 wife. By the way.
Yeah. What's up, Zoe? How you doing?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I already lost it.
Oh. Well, fuck you then. I'm gonna keep going. Pache and I actually met on a streamer called Novocaine, who changed his name to like Nova Lux. He hasn't streamed in like 4 or 5 years or some bullshit at this point, so it doesn't really matter. But I saw him play God of War when it like came out, and as a longtime God of War fan, that game looks terrible. And when they first announced it, my immediate thought was, first off, why would you continue past God of War 3 in the first place? God of War 3 was the perfect goddamn ending to the series, and it didn't need a sequel. God of War 3 should have been the end, full stop. Your story was told. Second off, going to Norse mythology, stupid. Just in general, and not just because I don't like Norse mythology, but because it's actually fucking stupid to just switch pantheons. Why would they switch pantheons? It's such a stupid cash grab. They're like, hey, we ran out of Greek entities. Let's go to Norse, except they didn't run out of Greek entities. They never fought the giants or the primordials, so there was like a bunch of goddamn shit they could have done with it, but they didn't, because fuck you, I guess. The game's mechanics are clearly just like inspired by The Last of Us, so they're just like biting off The Last of Us bullshit. And I've also seen that game's like combat, which looks boring as shit. I've never played it, but I mean, you said it was boring, and I believe you because it looks fucking terrible. But even more than that, one of the things that I don't know how many people associate with, but like Kratos is a fucking super genius, because like, although I wouldn't necessarily say the puzzles in God of War are like ridiculously hard. There was definitely some like brain teasers and some stumpers throughout the series. And when you look at it from Kratos' like perspective as like a three-dimensional creature inside of his own first-person view and these massive temples, and he has to like solve these like geographic puzzles that span like hundreds of miles. Frickin' Kratos figuring this out, man, is a goddamn genius, all right? Sometimes across 4 dimensions, even. Because in God of War 2, you have to use time travel as part of your puzzle solving. Like, a big aspect of God of War is puzzle solving. And from what I have seen in God of War, Dad of Boy, as you called it, the puzzles in Dad of Boy are throw axe at log. Throw axe at other log.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. Like this game's pretty easy. Like I hear it gets harder when you Valkyrie stuff. I'll be the judge of that when I get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, right now, like I said, I haven't died once, so I'm over halfway through the game. I've literally just breezed through this game. Like I don't know if it's just the game. It's the hardest difficulty I could pick when I started. But I mean, I've been breezing through it with 0 issues. Like all the Valkyrie shit was actually kind of hard. Okay, headshot.
Hey, headshot.
But yeah, like I've just been breezing through it. It's a pretty easy fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, it just like first off, it's not God of War. It looks boring to me. It looks like it ruined the puzzles and the combat, and it looked like it ripped off The Last of Us, which I didn't like in the first place. I don't like Norse mythology. So, like, as a huge God of War fan, I saw, like, Dad of Boy, and I'm like, oh, this looks like complete fucking garbage.
I mean, like I said, the story is really good. I like this, and, like, what they do with his character. What's up, Headshot? I like that. I like that aspect, but, like, the gameplay part of it's boring, and, like, there's... For a game based on killing gods, you see 3 in the entire game. And that's... Other than that, it's just recycled troll enemies, basically. For bosses, yeah. It's
Boulder, Freya, and Loki?
Yeah, and Thor's sons. Minji and Jinji. I don't remember their names.
You got me. You got me on Thor's son.
Yeah, he has 2 sons that you fight at the same time. It's actually like a really good boss fight. Actually, that's like one of the best fights I've had so far in the game. Besides, like, I mean, the Baldur fight in the beginning's pretty cool too. I like that fight a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the rest of the game is just boring.
Yeah, mythically, the only like Norse characters I find particularly interesting are the Valkyries and Odin. Odin's cool.
Yeah, like you don't see Odin at all. You get threats basically from him, and like Thor's mentioned so much in this game, but he's like an Easter egg at the end, I guess. Which the second one that's coming out, Ragnarok, is probably going to be like you're probably going to be fighting Thor and Odin. I would assume so. But I mean, we'll see because they got to do something really, really interesting with the combat if I'm going to go spend $70 on a new God of War game.
Yeah.
Boy, is it born.
But what was I gonna say? Something about Odin. I don't remember. Oh yeah, one thing that I've seen from it is it takes the sort of like old school Japanese game approach for, oh shit, our protagonist is way too strong for this new setting we've set him in. What do? I know, let's make him really goddamn old now. Like, it's the same thing that, like, Yakuza and, like, Metal Gear Solid did to solve the problem of what do we do with Kiryu and Solid Snake? Because theoretically, if Kazuma Kiryu or Solid Snake walks into a room, everyone should drop a fucking load into their pants. So they're like, let's make him, like, 60. Then people will be like, look, I understand that this man once beat 2 tigers in a fist fight simultaneously, but he's also like a 50-year-old taxi driver now, so I can win this fight. No, you can't, you fucking idiot. And it seems like they did like the same thing with like Dad of Boy, where it's like, hey, what do we do with a guy that killed a pantheon that is like magnitude stronger than the pantheon we now have him up against? Because the Greek pantheon would fucking wipe the Norse gods out of the fucking sky. So it's like, well, what do we do? Kratos killed the entire Greek pantheon, and it's like, I don't know, make him really fucking old?
Yeah. See, let me for a second. Yeah, I do want to replay 1, 2, 3. I believe there's a remaster. Of 1,
Something
3
going on
on
with your voice, John.
PS4. What?
There's something going on with your voice right now. It's like modulated, like it's super fucking like deep and stuff. Like there's a voice changer or something. I don't know if you hit something.
Yeah.
Or...
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Sorry, I cut you off, but
No, fair enough. Yeah, I believe there's a remaster of all three of them on PS4 that I'll probably pick up and play them all again.
oh, the God of Wars.
Yeah,
I didn't see one on PS4. There's one on PS3, which is what I'm going to be playing it on. Which is why I'm also treating all of the God of Wars as one game, because I don't like streaming on the PS3.
Actually, yeah, I do have a PS3. Is that backwards compatible on the PS4 though?
No, PS4 is not backward compatible at all.
I mean PS5.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
I know the PS5 was designed to be a little bit more backward.
Yeah. That's really drove me to it. I was like, well, if I could play PS4 games on it. Yeah, just recently played the God of War 3 remastered. Yeah.
God of War 3 is a great game.
Because I think I already have 3 on PS3 actually. Thank you, Feather. You realize. But yeah, so God of War.
Okay. Next up.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know this was kind of requested on stream, and I played about an hour of it just because I wanted to like see how the combat was and stuff.
I chose Aerith because Aerith's best girl.
Aerith is best girl.
Oh my god, a man of culture.
She is. The remaster is fun. I like it. It's obviously a way different game from the original. So it's hard to compare the two. But I mean, if this were like a side adventure type thing and not like a direct recreation of it, I recommend it. It's fun as hell. I can't talk a lot about it because I haven't played a lot about it. But I mean, I thought like control wise, it would be kind of weird, like between like the characters and stuff like that, like switching between them. But it's actually not bad at all. I kind of fell right into it with no problems at all. Also, easy game. It's easy as shit. I don't know what it is, but these games are easier lately.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, or as I like to call it, Final Fantasy VII, the shitty one, is a terrible dumpster fire of a game. I hate it, and it made me so mad that when I beat it, I immediately confirmed a Final Fantasy VII playthrough of the original good one, and then I beat that game. So if you remember a while back, I did a full playthrough of the original Final Fantasy VII. That was because Remake just came out, and it was fucking terrible, and I hate it. It ruins the pacing of the game completely by stretching what was essentially the first, 5-10 hours of the game into, 30 fucking hours by adding a bunch of bullshit that no one gives a shit about. And then it just completely goes off the fucking rails because Square keeps not having someone put in charge of Nomura to slap him and tell him no. I remember the biggest issue, well, not the biggest issue, one of the issues, and I'm just going to slide this in real quick, is there's a moment in the game where you have to rush to do something or a lot of people are going to die. And I won't go into details because I don't know how far you are, but I will say that you have to rush to a point or someone is going to die. In the original game, you just go right there. I don't know if you've ever played the original Final Fantasy VII, but in the original, you just go right there and do it then. And in the remake, you're rushing off to the point, and then the entire plot stops, and you go on a dumb ghost adventure. And then you remember at the end of your dumb ghost adventure, oh yeah, a lot of people are going to die if we don't start fucking rushing. Like, it is the most awkwardly paced bullshit. It is terrible, and I hate it, and then it ruins it even harder at the end, where it just is like, what if instead of making the game, we don't make the game? Oh, and the combat is okay. Why the fuck is there no jump button?
Yeah,
There are flying enemies in this game, and there are no jump button. What? Also, I don't know if you've noticed, Barrett is the best character.
Yeah, Barrett is pretty dope. Yeah, like I've only gotten to right after the reactor.
Oh, okay. So, like, not very far at all.
I did the reactor, and then I did the stuff in the town, and I just popped on the train.
Okay, well, let me give you a little bit of advice then. Barrett is the best character because there are a lot of flying enemies, but also Barrett has ranged weapon attacks, and he can chain his attack combos into each other.
Neat.
Yeah. So towards the end of the game, like, I wanted to play as Cloud, but then after a while, I was just like, I just want to beat this game. And Barrett is, like, the best fighter in the entire... There's almost never a reason to not be Barrett. So if you just want to... If you want to, like, make the game super fucking easy, just be Barrett the whole time.
I was really, like, upset because I thought it would play like a little akin to like Kingdom Hearts, like with the jumping and stuff like that, and doing like air combos and stuff like that, and you can't do that.
No, yeah.
And it's slightly annoying. They basically cuckold you into using Barrett and other characters. So,
I played most of the game with just Cloud, but I also played on the easiest difficulty. But also Barrett's just like the advantage of owning a gun. Yeah, like, playing as Barrett shows you why guns, you know, caused swords to fall into disuse, is what I'm saying. The man has a gun on his arm.
That is true, yeah, he does have a giant gun.
Like, an enemy comes at you with melee, and you're like, okay, I back up and then shoot him with my gun. Cloud can't do that. Enemy comes at Cloud with a sword, you have to rush forward with Cloud with a sword, and then maybe get hit. Barrett's just like, I walk backward and then shoot my gun. I own a gun.
Yeah, it does work. It's a pretty efficient weapon. Which is why our armies now use guns.
Yes, that is why swords are not a thing anymore. Because the gun exists.
The gun does exist.
All right. So we're that's good for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it, playing it. Maybe I'll play it on stream. I don't know. On to the next one, which is Bravely Second End Layer.
Okay, so I mentioned with Cyberpunk that I played 2 games in which the director apologized for making. And it is true that the director of Bravely Second issued a formal apology after creating Bravely Second, saying that he was very disappointed with it and it did not live up to his expectations, and he was incredibly sorry to all of the fans for how the game turned out. Here's the weird thing about Bravely Second, John.
That's good.
It was praised both critically and by fans, and the universal reaction to the director's apology is, what? No one understands why he apologized, because pretty much everyone enjoys the game. And I would argue that it's actually better than the original. So I think the man is a lunatic.
He might be.
Unlike CD Projekt Red, which had a reason to apologize for Cyberpunk, Bravely Second is a great game. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10. I fucking loved it.
Maybe he's apologizing perfect 10 out of
10. Yeah. It does use a lot of systems and like assets from the first game, but I don't necessarily think it's that bad for like a 3DS like title. I mean, Persona 4 bit off Persona 3's assets, and Majora's Mask bit off Ocarina of Time's assets. Like, I don't think asset rips are that offensive. So,
no. As long as they're good.
Yeah, I mean, if you make a good game out of it, who gives a fuck? Exactly. And I would argue that like Bravely Second is, because it wasn't 100 out of 10, maybe Bravely Second is actually less repetitive than the first game, even assuming you're playing it properly. Like, a big thing about Bravely Default is you just play the same thing over and over and over and over again. And Bravely Second, you'll play the same thing over maybe twice maximum. And you can choose different options in Bravely Second, unlike the first game where it was always the same thing over. They removed some of the job systems and job classes, and they kind of stripped it down. But I think what they add with the new job classes adds abilities to the game that are like truly interesting. And I would actually dare say that as far as like an RPG combat system, Bravely Second may have my favorite turn-based JRPG combat system ever. Period. Yeah, no, I'm serious. It is absolutely amazing. When I originally was going to talk about Bravely Second, I was going to give you a very specific... this is Bravely Second. I was going to give you a very specific example about a boss fight I fought, about how amazing the combat system is and how it allowed me to do some dumb bullshit in this boss fight. I honestly, and I'm sorry to say this, do not remember anymore. But the general aspect was that the boss fight had an ability to mind control and remove my characters from the battlefield, and the creator of Mario is famous for saying that fun in a video game is based on the number of meaningful choices you make over time. And every choice I had made, every single choice I made about building my characters came into play in that battle. Every ability, every class choice, every secondary class choice, every item, every piece of equipment was utilized in this boss fight. And like, when I finished that boss fight, my mind was like, wow, that was a fucking fight. And this is a turn-based game. Like, normally when you have those like wow moments after a boss fight, it's after like Abyss Watchers in like DS3, or like fighting I think his name is like Kuze from fucking Yakuza. Like, it's those moments where you've like beat a boss and you're like, fuck man, that was a good boss. I had that moment in a fucking turn-based RPG that like, wow, that was a fight. And that never fucking happens. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced that outside of, like, Persona 5 or something. Like, blew my fucking mind. Every single build choice came into play. It's the job class system, and like, you can like learn abilities from your job, and then you can take secondary abilities from that job, and then you can gain abilities from all the jobs you've mastered to like fully build out and spec out your character. It is like, it doesn't sound that unique or interesting, but when it comes together, you can create characters with just like a fascinating array of abilities to do whatever you want them to, and it is like mechanically amazing. And the story I found just significantly interesting. Like, it takes a little bit of a divergence from the first game, where in the first game it calls back to classic Final Fantasy games where you go on and you like save the crystals and save the world and some shit, whereas in this you're like going up against like an emperor that like appeared out of nowhere, and you have to take him on. And like, just overall, and I felt, and I've seen disagreements about this, but I feel like it kind of fleshes out the characters a little bit better than the first game. Especially where you get to see how they like interact in their tent scenes when they're cooking food and shit. So like, overall, I like came to like even enjoy the characters more than I normally would have, even though two of the characters are the same characters from the first game. So yeah, it was a great time. But I have to talk about two important points of the game, and I'll try to be as close to spoiler free as possible. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw a spoiler warning on this one, because I have to talk about them at least as close as possible. When you get to the end of Bravely Second, the main villain wins completely shuts you out. You don't even fight him at the end of the game. He just straight up wins, and he teleports away, and time itself just freezes. At the beginning of the game, I should have started at the beginning of the game. I don't know why I didn't. At the beginning of the game, you like fight him in like the prologue, but he completely like busts your asshole in, and like you go on and you save like Tiz, who's the main character of the first game, and you meet Adia, and you meet a woman from the moon named Magnolia, who is the lady in the image there. And she has like a special hourglass that lets you manipulate time. But yeah, anyway, you get to the end of the game and he just fucking beats you and you don't even get to fight him. And it's just like game over, and then the credits roll. And then you unlock New Game Plus. So then you start New Game Plus. And then you can like go through the whole game again with like all of your items and all your abilities spec'd out like New Game Plus normally happens. Or what you can do is you can start New Game Plus. You know how I said you have all those items that you had in the first playthrough in New Game Plus?
Yeah.
You get to keep the time manipulating hourglass. So you use the time manipulating hourglass, and your characters from your previous save file bust through from the future into the past to fight the main villain in the prologue.
What?
And then the game continues from there. Like, the game ends, it's like, Chapter 6. And then the game ends, credits roll, you lose. Fuck you. New Game Plus unlocked. You start New Game Plus, you use the time-traveling hourglass. Your characters bust in, you fight the main villain, bam! Chapter 7 pops up on screen. Congratulations, motherfucker. You just time-traveled. It's so fucking nuts. And in the first game, after you get to a certain point, the title of the game changes, where it says, Bravely Default, Where the Fairy Flies. I'm not going to tell you how the title changes. That's a huge fucking spoiler. But it changes in Bravely Second, which is Bravely Second End Layer. And this one I feel is okay. It is Bravely Second, and it changes to Send Player. When you unlock New Game Plus. So then you get to a different ending. This one's the final ending, and the final boss is like fucking invincible. Again, I won't give context for this. I don't want to ruin the story or anything. Just what they fucking did that was goddamn awesome. The final boss is fucking impossible, and he's like breaking through the fourth wall, and he takes control of your characters, and it's like, well, he's invincible. You know, you'll never be able to beat him. And he's literally like selecting your actions for you in combat. So you completely lose control of your character, and it's like, well, shit, how are we going to get out of this one? And then your characters literally break through the fourth wall and shatter the screen and start talking to you in front of the title of the game. And then they encourage you to go on, and then they use the game's literal title screen. I am not fucking with you. The literal title screen where it says Bravely Default Send Player, they literally grab the title and use it to beat the final boss of the game.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit! Bravely Second is amazing, and everyone should play it if they own a 3DS.
It's definitely on my list of games to play for 3DS.
You really should. I won't spoil any of the story details, but fuck, I loved it. Oh my god, it was so good. Oh shit, what a great game. And it even has a nice ending.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Bravely Second. It just blew my fucking mind. Like, everything it did. Oh my god. I hope Bravely Second is... Like, I hope Bravely Default 2, which is a game that I think comes out later this year, is good. Because after the director apologized for the fucking damn near masterpiece that this was, I hope he doesn't, like, backslide into making something worse.
We'll see.
Yeah. But, anyway.
It's coming out for Switch, right?
Yeah, Switch. Yeah, they're not going to release it on 3DS.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So that means I gotta play those two games before that comes out.
Yeah. I believe Bravely Default 2 is in a different universe. I think they're done with the original universe. Which I'm not a fan of. I would have liked if they just kept going in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm ready to move on. I had to talk about it. It was so good. It was such a good game.
Yeah. Before we move on, we should take a quick break. We're at about hour and 40, and I have to pee.
Yeah, this one's going to be an extra long one, as a heads up to everyone. Yeah, I also have to go to the bathroom. I was kind of holding it when I saw Bravely Second come up, and I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah, I felt like that was a good halfway point.
Yeah. I'm also pouring sweat, so that's okay with me.
Fair enough. So we'll be back in a good 5, something like that.
Sure, yes, sure. Why not? Which is Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, Bloodborne.
Okay.
Uh,
A
so
game
yeah,
I have opinions about.
that's why I figured it'd be fun to talk about because I'm playing it right now. Hell yeah! What's up, dude?
Yay, Jackson Games.
Yeah, I've been playing through Bloodborne. I started on, and then I was like, I still want to play this game, and so I did a completely different build where I went a skill build instead of an arcane build, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Did you
I
finish
guess
your arcane build?
no, I'm doing
Oh,
that one on stream. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm playing it on my own, mostly so I can learn the game and not jackass when I play the game on
Okay.
stream. And also because I wanted to try something a little bit different because like an arcane build can like melt bosses and basically almost every boss in the game. So I was like, I'm gonna do something a little bit different, you know. So I decided to do like a skill build, and I've been using the whip,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of fun. And that's why I was like, I need to beat Maria so I can get her Freyoku or whatever fucking thing she has is.
Yeah, whatever
Uh,
it's called. I don't know.
I am way better at Bloodborne than I am at Dark Souls. So
So here's a fun thing I've noticed is that people who are good at Dark Souls are not that they aren't good, but they're not as good at Bloodborne. People who are
yeah.
good at Bloodborne are not as good at Dark Souls. That's just something I've noticed. It's just in my experience.
So
Obviously, you
my
can be good
thing,
at both, but
I'm good at Dark Souls 1. 2, for whatever reason, I'm having more trouble with.
mm-hmm. I like to think I'm decent at all of them.
Bloodborne, I'm like just destroying for whatever reason. Like I haven't had really any issue with any of the bosses so far. I mean, you can cheese a couple of them, so I mean that's partially why. Like the only the only boss I've died to so far was Papa Guac. So he's
Um,
I died to him 3 times. Yeah.
You know what I think it is? Is I think that Bloodborne incentivizes what would be considered bad play in Dark Souls,
Yeah,
which
which
is
I'm good
getting over yeah, which is getting overly aggressive, not thinking about defense and just like going in there and just eating things.
Yeah,
Whereas if you try that in Dark Souls, it's a lot more of a defensive, game. So
you'll die.
yeah,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
my
also why I like the more like tepid, slower paced combat of Dark Souls, as opposed to the fucking just get in there and shove your dick right in the thorny spike pit that Bloodborne is.
yeah, which is my sort of game. So I like the berserker tone of it because now that I've watched that, I can see a lot of the shit you were talking about when it when it comes to some of the choices. Um, but yeah, like I don't know, I've been breezing through a lot of like I'm in Forbidden Woods right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't played in a couple of days because I got to a point where I got really penisy. I went in with like 40k fucking blood echoes and then died to some fucking worm. And I got pissed and shut off the game because I was fighting some giant. And why is my health going down? Because these stupid fucking worms, and it really pissed me off. So I haven't touched it since.
Yeah.
But when I went back to go grab my I got caught in something and then fucking then died. So I lost all those
Yeah.
echoes. I just got really penisy. I'll always never play Dark Souls Blood Moon's right way. I'm super underpowered and I everywhere in cheese fights. Hell yeah. That's the
I would
other thing.
argue
Like,
that's the correct way, by the way.
yeah. I mean, case in point, if anyone saw my demons cheated my way to victory, it was just overpowered that entire game.
There is no reason to not cheat in Demon Souls.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I might as well. I was like, I'm gonna take a page out of
I would almost argue if you're not cheating in the original Demon Souls, they patched it out I think in remaster, but if you're not cheating in the original Demon Souls, you are actually playing the game incorrectly.
Which I did, and boy, was that game a lot of fun. I breezed through.
Oh,
I feel like even I feel like even if it wasn't like you didn't have that cheat, the game still. I'll find out when I play remaster, but I feel like that's just a super easy game, just in general.
Yeah. It Demon Souls has like the best. The original, I really loved like the designs of the world because it wasn't just all like bleak and dark and shitty. Like there was colors and it had more of a high fantasy element to it, and I always appreciated that. And I also appreciated some of the more like unique like boss mechanics and boss designs for Demon Souls. I just generally like. Also, it has Tower of Latry, which is the greatest Soulsborne level ever made. So
There's random cutouts from my audio. Zach, does my audio sound fine?
no. But your audio
what?
does that in every podcast we've ever had, so.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they know. That's weird. It doesn't show any like droppage on my whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, Bloodborne. I have made no secret that I hate this game, and I have hated it since launch. So, granted, it is a better game than it was at launch, but
yeah, I couldn't get that skip though. I tried. After I got off stream, I tried for like an skip and I couldn't.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So I just patched the game and just went on with my life.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. I like the aesthetic. I gotta not get too penisy again and lose 40,000 blood echoes. Which anytime I lose like souls or anything in like a souls game, like I don't know why. Like I know they don't really. I'm like so overpowered at this point in the game, anyways.
Yeah, they don't
That
matter.
it doesn't really matter. So it's just like the fact that I died when I hadn't died like the entire time I played it. I played it for like God, like 6 hours straight, and I hadn't died once, and I died to some fucking worms. Not even like the giant thing I was fighting. It's fucking little worms that I could barely see on the ground.
Yeah.
That pissed me off the most.
Well, Bloodborne's also the game with the Great Chalice of Is, which you can use to grind 100,000 souls every 2 minutes. So, you know.
Yeah, hopefully the audio stuff will be fixed when I have a better computer too. I feel like that's one of the main reasons because it's definitely not the internet because my internet.
Yeah, I don't know what causes it. It shows up more noticeably during Dark Souls for me.
Weird.
Yeah.
Probably 'cause-
It actually might be an issue with Discord receiving your audio, but I don't know.
That's true too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that happens for my other podcast a lot too. Like there's a lot of cutout.
Mm-hmm.
Might be Discord sound settings. That's also true too.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay. Anything to add for Bloodborne?
No, excited to get back to it. I'm gonna beat the game and then go back to it during stream and play it on stream for everyone.
Yeah. So what I will end Bloodborne with is it's a terrible piece of shit game and I hate it, but Old Hunters is a legitimately good piece of DLC.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to play that too.
It's not $15 fucking good of DLC, for the record. It's still overpriced to hell, but it is a legitimatately good piece of DLC. One of the best in the series.
Yeah, $10 I got mine for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at you! It was like 20 when it came out for me.
Yeah, it was half off, so I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna pick it up now." Yeah, because it was still 20 in the PS5 store.
Yeah.
So it was like half off, so I was like, I might as well buy it now. So I just bought it because I'm playing it anyway. So.
But if anyone in chat, because I see you talking about it, knows a way to fix that, I will gladly fix it. So.
Yeah, me too. So let's go on to the next one, which is BoJack Horseman. Yeah,
That was
the
my
American
impression of the.
American.
I had to search around to find a picture of the opening, but I feel like the opening is like peak BoJack.
That is true. Yeah,
So this is actually your topic, despite the fact that I've seen every goddamn episode.
this is. You never found a fix, damn. Shit. I thought it was yours. I thought it was yours. Actually, I watched this entire. So I'll keep it brief since I don't remember. Fuck, I was actually. That's a really good picture. th- Why don't more people talk about this show? The
Oh,
show's
it's so good. Yeah.
it's really good.
It's because it came out at
nobody talks about
relatively the same time as Rick and Morty, which is a shame because it is a million times better than Rick and Morty sucks. So, yeah, I'll call out Rick and Morty. I don't give a shit. It's not a good show. Dan
I like the
Harmon
first
has
season.
maybe 2 good seasons of any one TV show in him, and then it will always go downhill every time.
I like season 1. Season 2 is kind of like meh to me, and I just haven't watched any.
Oh, of Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
But yeah, BoJack's an amazing show. I think I want to say season 5 is like I found season 5 kind of boring, but like absolutely phenomenal show. And I didn't like the ending of the overall show at the beginning, but like as it sat with me more and I thought about it more, I've realized, wow, that was the exact right way to end it. Like that was the perfect ending for the show.
that was really good. Yeah, I thought it definitely ended up. Yeah, it ended just the way like it should have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, season 5 is the stuff with Hollyhock, right?
It's the one with his mom and her backstory. I thought that was whatever. The season with his mom and her backstory I thought was a weaker season.
Yeah, because that's when he goes to like the country or whatever and gets the house and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all that stuff.
I wasn't. That's the only season I don't like. But BoJack is such an amazing fucking show.
Yeah, he's got famous actor Zach Braff in it. There's a whole bunch of good shit in it.
Yeah, and then he gets eaten.
He does get eaten.
I at the end when you see all the characters that died in the show, I like, why the fuck is Zach Braff in the ending sequence? I literally forgot, and I'm like, oh yeah, they fucking ate him when Mr. Peanut Butter's house gets buried.
Yeah,
I forgot. I love that BoJack Horseman does this thing where it like calls back to previous jokes it's made, and it's fucking great.
it's a very well written show. It kind of sucks that it ended because I would have watched that for a while, but the way it ends is so perfect that it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with how it actually ends, though. And it also had to end at some point, and Netflix at the time was, like, cutting a lot of shows. Like, it cut its entire animation department at the time, so it didn't make sense.
Yeah. It's up there with me for like Futurama is like another perfect ending in my opinion, even though they've ended that show 3 times.
I was about to say
But-
they've ended that show 3 times.
Yeah,
I'm
But
not
I
sure I've
think
even seen the final ending.
the final ending's like probably like one of the best endings I've seen in like any animated show. Because I can't lump it in with some like obviously like other shows, but
Hmm.
animated wise, that show ends like damn near perfectly. And
Yeah,
so does
Futurama is such a good show, too,
It's-
also.
it's
Another one.
incredibly
I
good,
mean,
yeah.
I prefer, like, BoJack. I would say BoJack's probably might be my favorite Western animated show of all time. I'm not 100% willing to commit to it, but there's a good chance of it.
I'd have to say that King of the Hill is my number.
King of the Hill's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
prefer BoJack to King of the Hill, but I will not talk shit about King of the Hill. That's for damn sure. That is a good ass show.
Yeah.
No,
It's my favorite Texas anime.
Yeah, like other contenders would be like Adventure Time, She-Ra, or My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, but I don't know. BoJack might edge them all out. Those are all really good shows. I know they all sound like really like childish and like girly and shit. Those are all very solid shows.
Yeah. Nah, but it was such a I'm probably gonna rewatch it too because my girlfriend hasn't seen it either. So I think her and I are actually gonna rewatch this. Actually, even though I just finished it a few months ago, I'm pretty pumped to rewatch it again.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember like when a new season dropped, I would like watch it all in one night and just like not sleep just to get it done. Such a fucking good show, BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, I wish I could do it. I wish I could do that with some shows. Some of them who got to release weekly. Ugh.
Yeah. I really
More
do
than-
like the like binge watching thing. Like I know a lot of people would disagree, but I kind of feel like that's the way to watch a show, which is why like when anime is releasing, I won't watch it until it's done airing because I like the experience of just like dropping it.
I like that with some shows. There's some shows like anime, like for instance, is one thing that I'll do the same thing. Like I'll drops and just power watch all of it.
Mhm.
But there's other shows like something that'll come up a little bit later that I'm kind of glad it's a weekly thing instead of like it came out all at once. Just because like spoilers would be abound everywhere and like there's stuff that would get ruined. And I think with the Mandalorian, like that's good a show that's weekly. That if it came out and people could binge it all in one day, like it would have ruined so many things in that show. So I'm more grateful that it does because like those types of shows, like I'll wake up early on release day and watch it, avoid spoilers and shit. Because as soon as you go on the internet, like that Twitter and fucking every site is like just littered with stuff from the episode. So I've been doing that more so with a show that will. It's just mine. Nah, of course it's mine. But yeah. Let's move it right along. We're on to Godzilla now.
Godzilla 2014. Oh shit! Wait, why is your window capture so? Oh, because it's new.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
There we go. I just had to adjust OBS that time. Okay.
I am drinking a sample.
Godzilla 2014. I watched it during the break because I found out that I forgot to watch it after I saw the King Kong and like the Godzilla 2019 movie, and it's terrible
It's not
in
great.
every way. There's not a single good thing about this movie. I literally could not name one positive thing about it. And that was all I had to say. John, anything to add?
I mean, I saw it in theaters, and I thought the same thing. They just need to stop putting human characters in these monster movies.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, you can have like I thought they worked well in King Kong, but it was because it was like them having to move around the island and deal with the threats was the story, a lot less than here's King Kong versus some fucking alligator monster. Like the story wasn't King Kong versus an alligator monster, it was like man versus wild.
exactly.
And
yeah.
wild involved King Kong and a giant fucking alligator.
Yeah, King Kong was it had like, God, stop putting human characters.
Yeah, whereas like this movie was like Godzilla versus the Mutos, and then also the military's there.
Oh, hi.
Also, that movie was one, too dark, and I couldn't see fucking anything, and two, does not know how a nuclear bomb works.
They do not.
Why would the ICBM be on a timer?
Because fuck
That's
it,
literally asking to blow yourself up.
that is true.
If you're so stupid your nuke is on a timer, you deserve to explode.
Yeah, no, you ain't wrong.
No, that was all I had to say. It's actually so bad, I don't think it's worth a full sack review where I go on a 30-minute rant about why it's shit. I actually think it's so bad it's not worth dignifying.
Hopefully they'll rectify some of that stuff with the Godzilla vs.
Yeah.
It's on HBO, so I'll watch it for free when it.
Oh, Godzilla vs. Kong?
Yeah, because I have
Yeah.
HBO Max. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm moving on.
Little Women.
Little Women. All right. Little Women. All right. I'm gonna briefly.
Confuse the big one.
I'm gonna briefly not be able to see chat with Little Women because my big point about Little Women is the cast of Little Women. So I watched Little Women 2019, directed by Greta Gerwig. And this movie got a lot of praise. And this is, of course, like the 800th adaptation of, the classic novel. I think it was a novel, Little Women. And this movie is terrible. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree about that because it was very popular. I legitimately think this movie is absolute fucking horseshit. It's honestly, I'm not saying anything bad about the story of Little Women or the novel of Little Women or other adaptions of Little Women. This specific movie is bad, though. They made the baffling decision to film it completely out of chronological order, which just, like, completely undermines all of the character arcs. And I get that the idea is that they seemed like she was trying to create a compare and contrast between the past events and the future events. There's no reason for that. Do you know what happens when you create a compare and contrast between past and future events while filming things in chronological order? It's called a character arc.
What's that?
I don't know why Greta Gerwig was so afraid of making a good movie, but she it was very clearly someone that was trying to make an artsy film, like an art house film. So they used to so she filmed it like out of chronological order and tried to use like artsy filming techniques. If she had just made the movie, she would have had probably a pretty decent movie on her hands. I'm not sure if it would have been great, but it would have been a pretty decent movie on her hands. So the directing was fucking terrible right off the bat. I don't know why they would film this out of chronological order. It made it impossible to follow. Absolutely nightmarish. But I mostly want to talk about the performances. So let's see. Saoirse Ronan plays Jo Marsh, who is the main character of the movie. She did... I think she's the main character of the movie. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going down like the names of the people.
I'm pretty sure she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's I'm not very familiar with Little Women. That's so she plays the main character. She did fine. I don't think she did great. I don't think she did bad or anything. She was totally acceptable in her role. Emma Watson plays Meg Marsh. Now, Emma Watson, I don't think is a bad actress. She was tragically miscast in this movie because the entire goddamn film, you can feel, it's not just you can hear it, you can feel it in your soul and in your body, her British accent desperately trying to break free as she tries to do an American accent for the entire movie. Like, Emma Watson's such a big actress that when I saw she was in this, I'm like, oh, weird. I would have thought she'd be the main character. And then I heard her talk throughout the movie, and I'm like, oh, I understand why they made her the least important sister. Because she cannot keep this fucking accent under control. There is one scene where she puts on a fake British accent, and it's like a fucking dam breaking free, and the waters of life flooding into the film. As you can hear Emma Watson finally speaking like a human.
That's like Benedict Cumberbatch's Boston accent in Black Mass. Like it's just awful.
Yeah.
Benedict, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, I'm sorry I said that, but it's just bad, dude.
Okay. I believe Florence Pugh is, let me just quick check. She did Amy Watson. I believe she's the one that doesn't matter at all and like dies or some shit. No, she isn't. No, wait, were those two? Okay, so here's the problem. There's Florence Pugh, and then there's Eliza Scanlon, and I had trouble telling them apart throughout the entire movie. So I want to make sure I get the exact right one. Okay, so Beth. Yeah, Beth is the one that doesn't matter and no one gives a shit about. Okay, so Eliza Scanlon, we're actually going to start with, did a terrible job. I didn't believe her at all. She just straight up did not do a good job acting in this film. I don't know if she's a good actress. I haven't seen her in anything else that I know of, but she was shit in this. And Meryl Streep is in this movie. She plays Aunt March. She doesn't have a lot of scenes, but she's Meryl Streep. So do you want to guess how well she did in her position? She did very well. She's Meryl Streep. What do you want me to say? Surprise! Meryl Streep did good. Does not need dignifying.
That's fair.
The most baffling one to me is Florence Pugh plays Amy March. And what baffles me about Florence Pugh's portrayal of Amy March is that this movie is filmed out of chronological order. In the past sequences in the movie, in like the past, she does some absolutely abysmal acting. It is fucking god awful. It is high school level terrible. And when it flashes forward to the future, she steals the fucking show. She's so good at acting. And I don't understand. I don't understand if they filmed the early parts first and she just got she developed at an inhuman speed of acting, or if the direction was so bad that it somehow evolved into her poorly acting only in the past sequence. I don't know how this occurred. I've never seen a character in the same movie both simultaneously be the worst actress in the film and the best actress in the film. It's baffling to me how this happened. But yeah, Florence Pugh had a very interesting performance in this movie. Let's see. There is one last character I want to talk about. Who is, let's see, he plays the guy. Oh, okay. Timothy Chalamet is his name or something. I'm sorry if I butchered it. He plays Laurie. And Timothy Chalamet plays Laurie, who's the sort of love interest for the main girl, but then he ends up going for Amy instead at the end of the movie. It's Little Women. This fucking book came out 1,000 years ago. What do you want me to say? But he steals every fucking scene he's in. I think he realized at one point that he's in a shitty movie, and so he just decides to have fun with it because he's so over the top and and flamboyant and boisterous that every scene this man is in is a complete delight, and I loved it. He was the reason to go on in the movie. Every time Laurie appeared, I'm like, yeah, Laurie's on screen. What's he gonna do now? Oh shit! He's getting up on a chair and delivering a Shakespearean dialogue! Fuck yeah, Lord! Yes, he is that over the top. It's amazing. He is the reason to watch it. Anyway, it's a terrible movie, but I like the acting. Acting never really stands out to me, which is probably, good, because it means you're probably doing your job if I'm not noticing your acting. I noticed, everyone's acting in this film. So I needed to comment on it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, that was Little Women.
So, fun fact and kind of a nice little segue. Cesario Ronan actually auditioned for the role of Scarlet Witch in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Which reason why I'm bringing that up, because our next topic is WandaVision. Have you watched it yet?
Oh, I don't have a Disney subscription, so no, I have not.
You have not? Okay. So WandaVision is the first thing from Marvel in 18 months, something like that. It's been a very long time. And boy, is there stuff going on in this show. I'm not gonna get into spoilers just because there's some spoilery stuff, but I'll go into a very spoiler-free discussion of it. Has so much, yeah. It's 5 episodes deep. The first 2 episodes released on the same day. It was kind of like a segue into the.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out. Did you say 5-minute episodes?
No, I said it's 5 episodes long.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 5 episodes long. Oh well, we've already had 5 episodes. There's 9 in total. A possible 10th one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's like the first 2 episodes. It's very slow. They released on the same day. I watched them right back to back. They were both like 30 minutes long, not too bad, time wise. But it really the first 2 episodes are like, this is what's going on, and it kind of sets up like the mystery, and like episode 3 furthers that a little bit, and it kind of, like the reality aspect of it. I'm not gonna go too deep into these episodes just because of spoilers and stuff like that. Episode 4 is more of the introduction to Sword and like what kind of happened during Endgame as well, which I thought was like a nice little touch to it because like it shows a hospital as people are coming back from the Hulk snap when he snaps and brings everyone back in Endgame. I thought that was a cool little touch to it. And you get introduced to Monica Rambeau, again, technically because she was in Captain Marvel, but she's an adult now in this series. And she's someone that she gets dusted away, comes back. And she's in the hospital, and so it kind of reminded me of like the first episode, almost of Walking Dead, but with actual people in it. If anyone's seen The Walking Dead, like the only
I
good
saw the
couple
first
episodes.
episode. It was incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I stopped there.
It kind of reminded me of that. I only watched 3 seasons of that, and I gave up on that show. It's terrible now. I guess I don't know. I only thought like the Herschel stuff was cool because he was a cool character, but
I don't know. Mama Sack's into it.
uh, um, but yeah, and then episode 5, it really starts asking questions about like what's going on. Again, this one's a very spoiler heavy episode, so I'm definitely not going to talk about any of it. But it has a cameo at the end of the episode, blows the whole lid off. Couple different aspects of what's going on in the universe right now. Again, I'm not going to really talk about it, but I'm excited to see the rest of this series. Oh, we got 4 episodes left. We got what, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and there apparently might be a 10th episode. I'm not sure. It's a rumor, but maybe there's 5 episodes left. So we'll definitely see. But it's first 2 episodes they weren't boring, but you can tell it was like it's a TV show, so it's setting up the universe and like what's going on. So I kind of understand why they did it that way. But just 3, 4, and 5, like they really picks up the pace when you go through them. And I can't even imagine what episode 6 is going to be like after the bombshell at the end of 5. So
So from the comics, I know that Sword exists, but I don't know like anything about it. Is what I will say about them. Like I don't know what their deal is. I've just heard of them.
so Sword in the comics is different from what they're doing in the MCU.
Oh,
So Sword in the comics was more they were in space, yeah, a space version of Shield basically. Like they were more observing aliens and they were doing shit on Earth. In the show, they're not called sentient world observation, whatever. They're sentient weapon now. So they're kind of still, it's like almost like they took over for Shield in a way. And Monica's mom, uh, can't Maria Rambeau actually started Shield, as opposed to like Tony Stark and Peggy Carter, who started or not Tony Stark, his dad,
Howard.
Yeah, and Peggy Carter starting Shield and stuff like that back in like the 50s and whatnot. But I can see why they made that change. But there's also that out for spoilers if anyone hasn't seen Far From Home yet. But there was that tease at the end of Far From Home when Nick Fury's on a spaceship for whatever reason. So it maybe they're in, but WandaVision is also set before Far From timeline wise. Is set they said 2 weeks after Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home was like 3 or 4 months or something like that after Endgame, or 6 months. I can't remember, but timeline stuff always fun. But a lot of people didn't pay a lot of attention to what was doing chores. I would definitely, if you're a fan of the Marvel stuff and like cinematic universe they're creating, definitely pay attention, like especially in the first two episodes and episode 3, 4, and 5. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that's like you need to like. I've watched the episodes 3 times each now, and I find something different each time I watch them. Definitely highly recommend that show though.
Okay. All right. Can I take a random stab? Because I haven't seen it, and I'm probably never going to. Can I take a random stab? Is it like House of M?
It pulls from a little bit from House of M, a little bit of the like Wanda and Vision comic from like the 80s and stuff like that. It also pulls a little bit from Tom King's Vision run, where Vision kind of like lived in the suburb that had like a synthezoid family and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It kind of pulls from a whole bunch of different stuff. There is a little House of Emmy stuff kind of going on.
Okay.
Again, and like no spoilers, but
Because all I know about it is this screenshot that is up right now. And just from this one screenshot, I'm like, getting some House of M vibes.
honestly, if you like Marvel stuff, like I would wait until it's done airing and then get like a 7-day free Disney Plus thing and just
Yeah.
it's totally worth it. Yeah, it's pretty damn good so far.
Okay. All right.
I'll be talking about it full spoiler like probably after probably April, because it'll
Okay.
be out in full by then. Yeah.
All right. So we're moving on.
Moving on.
Okay. What do we got here?
The Room,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure which one it is.
I watched The Room.
Which one?
Are there more than one The Room?
There's a couple. Yeah. Are you talking about the famous one?
Can you see the image on the screen?
Not yet.
Okay. I'll wait.
Dun, 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 dun,
Wow, it's
dun,
really lagging that much?
Yeah.
Oh, it's already on my screen.
It is a famous one. Oh, okay, so we're talking about that one.
I watched The Room.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was okay. I mean, obviously it was terrible. I mean, let's be... It's okay. Let's not mince words. Obviously, it's terrible, but I thought it was like okay. Like I always hear, it's like a good bad movie. I didn't find it that enjoyable, to be honest. Maybe it's because it's so like overdone and like there's so many jokes made about it that I've seen all of the crazy parts, and so when they came up, I'm like, I've seen that before. Yeah. So
yeah. Do you know what's a better The Room movie? The Disaster Artist.
Really? Is that movie terrible?
No, it's just a better. It's James Franco and Dave Franco.
No, I'm familiar. Yeah,
but that movie, it's actually like fun. It's like a fun movie to watch. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, what I mostly know, like after having seen The Room, I would almost say that like what I know about The Room is actually more interesting than the movie The Room.
The story of The Room is better than
the mysterious origin of Tommy Wiseau, you know, where people don't know where he's from or how old he is.
That's honestly my favorite part of The Disaster Artist.
He claims that he's like 50 or something, but like his best friend says he's seen his green card is like he's way older than that. And I'm like, what does that mean? What is way old? Is he like 70? He doesn't look 70.
He's actually a vampire, and he's actually like 30.
That was my thought. I was like, is he a fucking vampire? And like the mysterious way he acquired like the movie funds, where people are like, did he get it from the mob? Who knows? And he's like, no, I didn't get it from a mob. I got it from selling jeans. And I'm like, I'm sorry?
Who's jeans?
The movie cost like tens of thousands of dollars. How much jeans would you have to sell to fund this film? And he used 2 cameras to film the whole thing because he doesn't know how movies work. So he filmed an HD and an SD version. Do you know the ending? This isn't even a spoiler for this movie that everyone's probably ever seen but me before. But do you know what the original ending for fucking The Room was? Because it's the greatest goddamn thing ever.
When I saw this movie for the first time 7 years ago, I was told what it was, but it's not in my head anymore.
Okay, so in the actual The Room movie, Johnny dies at the end, which shouldn't shock anyone. But in the original ending of the movie, Tommy Wiseau wanted Johnny to get into his car and then have the car fly away.
Oh wait, no, that's in a disaster.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And when asked, like they put a stop to it. I think like the lead actor who plays like the love rival in the love triangle was like, "No. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? We're not doing that." And then he was like, "Why would the car fly away?" And supposedly Tommy Wiseau's answer was, "Maybe Johnny is vampire." And then he just walks away. And I love that response so much because it adds so many more questions than it answers. Why is vampire?
Is a mystical creature. He might be, yeah.
He might be.
I feel like he got hunted by Van Helsing or something.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it.
See, a normal person would say, "Oh no, maybe because I like."
All of that cut out. Every word of that. That whole joke is gone.
Well, no, well, so maybe he was like, "Oh, I saw Back to the Future in Greece, and the cars fly away at the end of the movie. I really like."
Yeah.
But no, vampire makes sense.
Yeah.
maybe
Johnny is vampire. That's the and he apparently just walked away, which is the ultimate mic drop.
Well, we all know that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, almost disappointing. That would have been a better movie. I think that would have made the movie for me if he just gets in a car and flies away for no reason. And apparently they had to play catch for like an hour. It's great. But yeah, overall the movie was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it or anything, but it was definitely not as good as everyone says it is.
It's a me movie. You just throw it on when you're drinking and just laugh at the funny parts.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about The Room.
10 out of 10. Johnny's a vampire.
Maybe Johnny is vampire. All right, this one's on you.
All right, so I recently rewatched the Hobbit Trilogy, and a lot of people hate those movies. I think they're fine.
By the way, I chose Desolation of Smaug because it had the coolest screenshot.
That makes sense, yeah. I don't know why people hate those movies. I mean, yeah, but I feel like the only boring part of that movie is in the first movie when they're just singing, like in his house or whatever. That's like the only boring part of that movie. Otherwise, I really, really enjoyed like all parts of the movie, all three of them. I didn't think like any of them was bad. That screenshot like really encapsulates the entire trilogy though. So that's a good screenshot.
It looked the coolest. There was no greater reason. Yeah, I've never seen any of them. I've seen the first 2 Lord of the Rings movies, and then I didn't watch any of the Hobbit movies.
They're all pretty good. We're rewatching all the Lord of the Rings movies right now.
I read the book when I was like 8, if that means anything.
It does. The books are pretty, yeah. Megan and I watched all the Hobbit movies and watching all the Lord of the Rings movies. We're just going through. We just watched all of the Harry Potter movies too. So after I finished that, we started.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to talk about those, by the way, the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, so here I'll sum up
the last 5 bad ones.
I'll sum up all the Harry Potter movies in a few sentences. They're movies and they're okay to watch, but the magic is fucking boring to look at.
That's fair. The books are better. As someone who's seen all the movies and read all the books are better.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Yeah, I watched all the movies in school. Yeah, the huge battle scene at the end. And the last Hobbit movie is just fantastic, and it lasts like it's like half the movie is like a fight scene, which is I loved. It's like the whole time it just cuts back to like the elves and then the dwarves doing their thing and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of people think that's chaos, but I like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything to add. Was The Hobbit?
That's the Hobbit, yeah.
Okay. Good
I'll
book.
be back with Lord of the Rings
Couldn't
next
make
time.
it through the Lord of the Rings books though. The prologue was like 20 pages long and 40 pages long of prologue. That's too much prologue.
There's a lot of story to those. There's a lot of lore in those.
I couldn't make it through the prologue. The prologue was fucking. I'm sure the book's great. I never even had the thought of just skipping the prologue though.
There.
Yeah. Yeah. So I watched Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix.
And what did you think about it?
Do you want to guess?
You didn't like it.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. This is the podcast of it was fucking terrible. As far as every time a movie comes up, I'm like, oh, I hate it. Yeah, it was fucking. No, I will say it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I was gonna absolutely hate it. It was fine. It wasn't good though. Like by no metric would I describe this as a good film. But I mean, it was okay, I guess. I mean, they did what they could with what they had, I guess. I don't know. Like, considering the director's whole goal was to trick people into watching an art film by disguising it as a movie about the Joker, I guess it came out as best as it possibly could. I honestly couldn't see it coming out any better. Like, the big thing I have about it, though, is, like, if you want to watch a good movie about the Joker, or at least a better movie about the Joker, go watch the animated version of The Killing Joke, because this is not about the Joker. This is just some fucking crazy dude being a
I would say that, or The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and I feel like the ending sequence is clearly, like, inspired by The Dark Knight Returns. Where Joker like kills the audience of the talk show, but I mean in the movie he only kills Maury. Everyone's seen that fucking scene. I saw that scene like 100 times before I even watched it, so I don't care about spoiling it. But like,
you get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's even become like a meme now. So I don't give a shit about it. But yeah, like it could have been worse, but it's not. First off, it's not a fucking Batman movie. And granted, I don't like Batman and I don't like the Joker, but it's not a fucking Batman movie.
Batman's boring. I hate Batman.
Yeah, Batman sucks. But like, it's clearly just like a movie about a crazy guy, and they're like, "What if he was a clown?" I don't fucking know. I also hear it's incredibly derivative, but I haven't seen anything that it like clearly jacked its plot from. Like, I haven't seen Taxi Driver or.
Yeah, it's literally. So I was gonna save this for next podcast, but I have watched a lot, and I did watch Taxi Driver. I saw Joker in theaters, so I recently watched Taxi Driver, and I was like, "There's a lot of parallels to that movie and this movie."
Yeah, Taxi Driver is one of the cited influences. I haven't seen it. I hear it like rips off like two main movies, like one of which is Taxi Driver. And it's like, I haven't seen it, so I can't judge it. All I can say is that like Taxi Driver is probably a better movie.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's on Netflix.
It also it does a very cheap tactic, which I have criticized other like usually series for, where it creates an improbable scenario where the main character is like abused to an absurd degree to try and like get you to feel sympathy for them, and it's a very cheap tactic. And as I have stated so many times before, it doesn't matter how dark you make your fucking movie or your show if there's no light to balance it out, because it doesn't. Because if you don't see the ups, the downs are fucking pointless. And like, the whole thing about the goddamn movie is it's just life keeps kicking him in the beginning, and then he just shoots a dude. Well, okay, he shoots like 4 dudes, and then he shoots a dude. But like, that's the whole entirety of Joker. It's And I remember thinking about this when I watched it. Joker doesn't have a plot as a show. It has a series of disconnected events that happen in a timeline that are like tangentially related to each other, and then stuff happens. It's a movie where like there's no real cause and effect to actions. Things just keep happening, and then the movie ends. And also, can we just address the fact that a fucking random clown killing like 4 Wall Street bakers in a subway would not start a giant goddamn riot throughout the entire city? It's fucking it's absurd. It is insulting to my intelligence.
Yeah, we just did it on Reddit, and nobody died.
Yeah, fucking ugh. Yeah, I mean, just watch Killing Joke. Like, if you want to see a movie that's actually about the Joker that's good, watch Killing Joke. You know what Killing Joke also does that's better than this? Is
Mark Hamill's voice.
Yeah, well, first off, it has the objectively best Joker. Is that Killing Joke also does everything I just criticized this movie for not doing, which it shows you Joker's highs before it shows you Joker's lows. And it doesn't start off I just dropped like 1,000 frames.
Yeah, you just cut out.
How much of that actually came through?
It doesn't blank.
It shows like Joker's highs before it shows Joker's lows, and God damn it, I had it and then I lost it. It doesn't start off with Joker being crazy. It starts off with him being sane and then going crazy. And Joker's whole philosophy is like anyone can be like him with just one bad day. Like that's the whole crux of the Killing Joke. But if you watch fucking the movie Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix, there is no doubt in your mind that you will never be that Joker.
No, because that guy is
he starts crazy and ends crazy. And also he's crazy because his like dad beat him, which is a boring reason to be crazy.
Yeah. My dad still beats me and I'm a grown man.
Yeah. And have you shot a man on national news? Or on a talk show?
Not a talk show.
There you go then. Bullshit. This movie's bullshit.
I wasn't a fan of it when it came out. I gave it like a 5 out of 10 when I saw it.
Yeah. That was it. That was my whole thing about Joker. Just go watch Killing Joke. Literally, when I finished watching this, I just put on the One Bad Day speech from Killing Joke, and that one scene is better than the entire movie.
Agreed. And because I recently watched like all those. Like I've seen Dark Knight Returns before, but I never saw Killing Joke. But when I got HBO Max, I just watched like all of them like in a day.
Yeah. All right, I'm willing to move on from this. What's next? The
Adventure Zone.
So I think podcast 2 or podcast 1 involved me talking about the Adventure Zone, at which point I had seen Balance, which is to this day the greatest D&D show I've ever seen in my fucking life, like hands down. And I'd seen Commitment and I'd seen Amnesty. I have since forth seen Dust and Graduation now. Dust is pretty good. Very short, doesn't matter. Graduation, if they're back to playing D&D again, Travis is DM, starts out a little shaky, gets better as it goes. The way it's going, I don't see it reaching the same level as Balance, but I have to say that so far Graduation is probably my second favorite arc in the entire Adventure Zone series. And yeah, it's genuinely a great time. I've said this before, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. Adventure Zone is better than Critical Role, so I'm just gonna drop that mic and say that right the fuck now.
My drop.
On the other hand, here's what I will say though. you take the cast of Critical Role, you put them in there with Travis, Justin, and Clint, and you put Griffin as DM, and you can have, like, Matt Mercer as a player also, but you put them as players with fucking Griffin as a DM, and they would create this weird Frankenstein monster of the absolute greatest D&D show you could ever fucking have.
Here's hoping.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, they know of each other. Like, they've mentioned each other before. I don't think the idea of, like, the McElroys, like, being on Critical Role, or even, like, people from Critical Role being on the Adventure Zone is that crazy of an idea. Like, it's possible. I just, like, the streams have never crossed, but it would be a fucking event.
Don't cross the streams.
I want them to cross the streams. Don't they literally cross the stream at the end of the movie, though?
Yeah, and in 2 movies.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that was it. Adventure Zone Graduation, really good. Basic. Dust is like this, like, Wild West world, and they have to investigate a murder. And then in Graduation, they go to a school for, like, sidekicks and, like, villain minions. I won't get, like, it's Adventure Zone. It's incredibly plot heavy, like, and incredibly easy to spoil, like, far more than Critical Role ever has been. But yeah, if you want some good old D&D story with a nice flair comedy, go check out Graduation. Still ongoing.
It's in my watch list on YouTube.
It should be.
Did we play that? I have not. It's the prototype's always been on Kato.
Both of them.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to
This
the top
game's
of the food chain. That's, like, one of the greatest lines of any fucking video game ever, by the way. Like, Prototype 2 is not a good game. It is definitely worse than the worst one, than the first one. But at the end of the game, where you're fighting the main character of the original game, and, like, you, like, kill the main character of the original game, I think his name is Alex Mercer, which is probably why Kato thought of him. Alex Mercer says to you, "Welcome to the top of the food chain," right before you kill him, and I'm like, oh. Such a cool line. Such a cool fucking line. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. But the Prototype 2 is way worse than the first one. So okay.
I haven't played either.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Dartboard time.
It is. All right, here we are. We've arrived. The one, the only anime dartboard. The only show where you can dive into the deep, dark ocean that is my anime watch list and occasionally pull out a nice, crisp black pearl made from clam mucus. But mostly, we, like the real ocean, just pull out vats of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kicking us off, last dart was Gekugarashi School Live. John, I advised you to go into this one blind without reading any descriptions. Please tell me you did that.
I did do that, yes.
Okay. So before I talk about this, what did you think? I'm so excited.
It was a show. I liked it. I don't remember a lot of it because I watched it a very long time. I should have rewatched it again. I just didn't have the time to.
Mm-hmm.
But it did. Yeah, it started off neat and clean, and then became a completely different show.
Yeah. What did you think about that first episode turn? Where you find out that she is completely fucking bonkers.
I loved it. Because I was like, what? Because at first, you pop on the show, and you're like, oh, it's just like a cute little school show, No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not.
And the reveal that the teacher was like, what was like in her imagination the whole time. Also, Megane
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, that was
yeah, it's a great show.
show was
I
an unfuck.
I thought the middle part of it was a little slow. But I definitely feel like it came together at the end. I thought it had a strong ending.
It definitely did. Like by the end, like yeah, the middle was like I don't remember a lot of the middle, but I remember a good portion of the end. You will have to refresh me because it's been a while, but I remember it. It was nice. It's not what I was expecting.
Everyone almost dies. One of them gets infected by a zombie virus, and then they have to cure it using the supplies from the school.
Yes.
Oh, and the main girl snaps out of her psychosis. She's very clearly psychotic. So
Yeah, a little bit.
a little bit. She's completely psychotic. She is in the midst of a psychotic break. But what I will say is that her having that psychotic break is probably the worst thing that ever happened to any of those girls. Because she's very clearly, and here's my theory about it, I think she's the smartest one of all of them. Because whenever a problem comes up, her delusions, which we know are a manifestation of her subconscious, immediately come up with a solution to solve this problem. Through the form of Megane. And Megane is always leading her to creating the solutions to the problems that come up, and then she presents them to the girls, and they're like, wow, that's a really fucking good idea. Like, every time. So if she just, like, had her wits about her the whole time, they'd be fucking set. Like, nothing bad would ever happen. But then we also wouldn't have a show. Like, what kind of a zombie story is one incredibly competent girl leads all of her friends to perfect safety?
That's true, yeah.
Not much of one. I hear it diverges incredibly far from the manga, but I've never read the manga, so I can't really judge too much about that. I know the manga has a sequel series, and that the original series is actually ended, and it takes place after the zombies uprising. But I don't know too much details about that, so I won't really go into it. But yeah, just good show. I watched it while I actually watched it because of the plot twist. I actually already knew all the plot twists before going into it, so I wasn't really surprised. But that's because I knew that. That's also how I knew to tell everyone to avoid spoilers for it. But yeah, I watched the first episode because it sounded interesting, but I was also on the same time going for like a Monogatari bender. So I just didn't like finish it, and then I put it on hold for like 8 forevers until it showed up on the dartboard. I actually legitimately think it was on hold for probably 3 years.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, good show.
It was a good show. It was a solid watch. It was better than the couple other ones we had to watch. So.
I think this might actually be my favorite one we've done. Let me double check.
I really like The Boy and the Beast. That one was pretty solid.
Oh, I gave that like a 5.
I like the fight scenes.
Hang on, I got so much fucking bullshit on my anime list.
Wizard Barristers is up there too. Those are like the top 3 for me.
Don't be me. Don't have 1,000 things on your list. Oh, actually, no. Technically, Black Bullet is the highest scored anime dart, but that was before Anime Dartboard moved to the podcast. Otherwise, yeah, Gekugarashi, I gave a 7 out of 10. So.
I'd probably give it around the same, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's Gekugarashi. So, well, I wish we had more to say about it, but it's been like 2 months for me since I watched this, because I watched it almost immediately.
Yeah, and it's hard to talk about without spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it, because this is like a show you definitely, like you said, don't want to be spoiled either.
Well,
So
John, this is a book club. This
it's
is
true, yeah.
full spoilers.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, if you're holding back any spoilers, hang on, because I feel like we've only spent like 3 minutes on this anime. So if you're holding back any spoilers, let loose.
I'm trying to remember. Well, we talked about like the biggest fish being they're in a zombie apocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
which and like the whole
And Megane
cycle
being
thing.
being dead the whole time.
Yeah,
And the zombie virus, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
and then you find out that the one girl's friend is fucking dead right at the end as they drive off in the car. I don't know if you caught that when they were driving through the car at the very end credit scene. Her friend that like left her was the soul zombie walking back into the school.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So because she disappeared after she left the room, and yeah, you see her at the very end confirming, yep, she is in fact dead.
No shit. No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. So
Authors about it.
yeah, good show. Good show overall.
So, what do we have for us next time then?
That is a good question. All right, here we go. Let's spin the chamber. We don't spin the chamber. It's a fucking dartboard. All right, I have them all pasted. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Spin to win. Big money, no whammies.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh,
no. What is this?
Oh no.
I didn't even know this had a dub. I didn't even know this was an hour and 46. Well, okay. Here's what we ended up at. All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know why this was on the list. I'm gonna hate this.
Is it a Dragon Ball Z movie?
That's always a great sign when I'm like, why did I add this?
Well, I mean, we had to go from it's been a consistent thing where
Yeah, we have to have a fucking we have to have we have to have a flop after we have a bang. So
yeah,
can't be too good.
yeah, gotta have a fart after a shit, you know.
Okay. All right, hang on. I'm adding it to the thing so everyone can see it. You could spin a dartboard. You know what? He's not wrong.
It's true, yeah. Maybe
Okay.
you get something shittier.
All right, here we go. Here we go. You probably can't see this. I don't think anyone can see this popping up on the screen. It's a window capture and not a display capture. There it is. Okay. Here we go. We have that. Okay. Eve no Jikon, the movie, not the other thing. Also known as Time of Eve, made by Studio Rika, who also did Sakusama no Patama, or Patama Inverted. They did Eve no Jake in the Show, Harmony, Pale Cocoon. So basically a bunch of artsy-fartsy bullshit.
Okay.
Directed by Yasuhiro Yoshiura, famous for he is famous for Harmony and Pale Cocoon and Patama Inverted and a Pat Labor movie, but none of the ones I watched. So he makes art films, basically. Get ready for this. It is an hour and 46 minutes. Its genres are sci-fi and slice of life. Its source is original. It aired March 6th, 2010. Time of Eden. In the Japan of the future, employing androids for various purposes is nothing out of the ordinary. However, treating androids on the same level as humans is frowned upon, and there is a constant paranoia surrounding the possibility of robots defying humans, their masters. Those who appear too trustworthy of their androids are chided and labeled as Dorike, or android holics. High school student Riko Sakisaka notices when his house droid, Sammy, starts behaving curiously. She has been leaving the house without his instruction. When he inspects the movement logs in her database, a cryptic line grabs his attention. Are you enjoying the time of Eve? Accompanied by his friend Masakazu Masaki, Riko tracks the whereabouts of his house droid to a cafe called Time of Eve, where it is forbidden for customers to display prejudice against one another. The cafe, Riko realizes, is frequented by both man and machine, with no evidence to tell either apart. Each customer, from the cheerful Akiko to a robot dangerously close to breaking down, has their own stories and challenges to overcome. While Riko tries to reveal Sammy's intentions, he begins to question the legitimacy of the fear that drives humans to regard androids as nothing more than mere tools. So it's the same story every story about robots has ever been told. It genuinely sounds awful, and I'm not sure why I've added it. If I had to guess, it was because it is the only movie I have not seen from Yasuhiro Yoshiura that he made. Like, I've seen all of his other films. If I had to guess why Time of Eve is on there, it's because of that. The movie is generally like it used to be a TV series, and the movie like condenses it and like edits it up and like chops it into more digestible piece. Like I said, it's like an hour 46 minutes. So it's from what I understand, it's just like a better streamlined version of the original series, which was like a series of like short episodes and shit.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can find on like VRV and shit.
Mm-hmm. It has an average score of 8.05, so it's pretty well regarded, but so is Pale Raccoon, and that movie was a piece of shit. So I don't know. It could be good. I'm skeptical, so what I'm going to tell everyone is don't get your hopes up. But oh, hang on. Let me check if anyone on my friends list has seen this. Nope. Okay, we're the try.
Well,
Look, hey, I don't fucking choose the movies, so don't blame me.
yeah, I'll probably watch the 6-parter episode thing just because it's right here. I'll try to find. I don't know if that.
No, you gotta watch the movie.
Oh, you gotta watch the movie. Okay,
You gotta watch the movie. Yep, the movie was The Dart.
Oh, okay, I'll find that then.
That way because we have to watch the same version.
That's right, yeah, or else it'll get confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
Yeah. With luck, it might be watchable. Who knows? This might be a 9 out of 10. We might actually have stumbled upon something truly great.
We'll see.
Granted, I don't think I've liked a single fucking thing this man has ever made, but well, that's not true. Harmony was good in the second half. Harmony had a good second half. I'll say that. So, okay, that's Time of Eve. And I believe that is our last topic.
That is, yeah. Any closing statements?
Let me see.
I don't know. It's got 7.4 on IMDb.
Nobody cares about IMDb. It has a 8.05 on Mal. IMDb is not a website for rating anime.
I know. It's just funny. But where can I watch it?
I don't know. Well, I'll fucking track it down. Yeah, here's a closing statement. I changed the logo that we've been using from the absolutely copyright infringing logo to this new shitty one that I have slapped together. So it's not great, but it won't get us in legal trouble.
I will say that I do love it.
Yeah. If I may talk about it for just half a second, I used my own cerulean for the word cold and John's crimson for the word topic. So that's fun. Although I didn't manage to use the actual font that his logo uses for his logo.
You could have used the Nintendo logo because that's my secondary, the Nintendo one. But I like it the way it looks.
I'm actually willing to bet that both logos use a font I don't own.
Yeah, I don't have the Papa John one, but I do have the Nintendo one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so this is what you get from me. It tells you what you want. So there you go.
It's right to the point.
Yeah. That's all I gotta add. I made a logo that isn't just the word topic. That we stole from a movie studio.
We totally didn't steal it.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I don't feel comfortable continuing to use it.
Fair enough. So tune in exactly 30 days. Yeah.
March 6th it's exactly 30 days.
Yeah, March 6th. Yeah.
Let's see, Saturday. Yep, March 6th. Okay, and yeah, we'll talk about this fucking movie.
Yeah, and this movie, some other stuff. We'll hopefully throw in some other collab streams in between.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
we'll figure it out.
Yo, if we can get together with Arsic, Terraria, I'm down. I'll drag your asses through Terraria.
I could probably run it right now on this computer, so we can probably do something next weekend, maybe. Barred from my own game, exactly. So yeah, everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. This has been episode 6 of Cold Topic Podcast with Zach, our lovely host of the evening. Where can we find you?
Here, John. You can find me here.
That's
this
right.
is my channel.
That's right.
I'm supposed to be doing the outro. John, where can we find you is the better question.
Oh, also here.
Oh, no. No one saw that coming.
We're stuck in a time loop. You can find me on twitch.tv/ConquertheJohn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. All of it's ConquertheJohn, PSN, Xbox. If it's not ConquertheJohn, then you're spelling it wrong.
Yep.
But
you got your links in there?
Sure. It's like a sausage link.
Get your link in there. And you're gonna be going on to in like a week or so into Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah, we might return to that. I just gotta figure out the logistics. The OnlyFans.com/ that's my alt link. Yeah, we'll be back with Dragon Quest. Some more.
So that link doesn't actually have porn in it, right?
No, it just has Bowser.
Okay.
Just Bowser.
All right, just checking. Okay, yeah. And I'll be finishing up Digital Devil Saga and then going on to like Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. So, yeah. Good time all around. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Make sure to watch Eve no Jiken by the next podcast. I know you won't. And I have been Sacrabalic, your Envoy of Hope. And, actually, one last thing to add before the end of this podcast. I finish, my chat now has over 30 quotes in it.
Hell yeah.
So, that's great. Here's a little taste of the latest quote that has been added to my quote list. But yeah, we'll play us out. Yes. Quote number 32. I will now learn Wikipedia. That's it. I won't elaborate on that.
There's no need.
Oh, and then Arsic has also used the quote command, which is quote 15. Now I kind of want to go to all the women in the game and check if their feet are dirty. I think that's a good place to end. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.